had a big year with Brighton. He's in the squad. He scored 2 times last game against Poland. And Michy Batshuayi, well, he's a good goal striker, but another type than Lukaku is. Batshuayi is in the 16, and when he gets the ball there, he can score. But he's a totally different type than Lukaku is.
So this is a must-win game for Belgium this evening.
Yeah, it is, especially because of the loss against Holland, I think. If they won against Holland and they won against Poland, if they had a draw then here, then it should be fine. But now, with the big loss against Holland, well, they have to win today.
Thank you very much for joining us on BBC Radio Wales. Really appreciate your time. That's Belgian football journalist Christophe Libelou here on Radio Wales, and also a warm welcome to listeners on 5 Live Sports Extra. Thank you very much for being with us here at the Cardiff City Stadium, and what a time to join us as well, because well, you'll be able to hear in the background that unofficial Welsh football anthem, Amor o Hyd, from David Ewan, not here performing the song this evening as he was before Ukraine last Sunday when they qualified for the World Cup, but they're always going to be playing that from now on here in the Welsh capital. All of the players have left the field now, are headed back into the dressing rooms before kick-off here at 7:45. So let's get a team news reminder for you from our match commentator Rob Phillips.
5 changes from the Wales side that lost to the Netherlands here. So it's Hennessy in goal, Nepham, Roden and Davis the defence, Robertson, Nico Williams the wing-backs, Ampadu and Allen in midfield, Wilson in front of them. Bale returns as captain alongside Dan James. Belgium also make 5 changes. They include Kevin De Bruyne.
So it is Robert against Roberto in the technical areas tonight. Robert Page versus Roberto Martinez, who of course spent about 6 years in Wales as player and manager of Swansea. He's been Belgian boss since 2016, and he led them to a 3rd place finish at the 2018 World Cup. And I've been getting his views on Wales's progress over the past few years, culminating of course in last Sunday's qualification for Qatar.
The work has been there for a long time, and I think now it's been wonderful to see just the spirit of a group of players that they enjoy playing for Wales. They treat it as a good example of representing Wales, a big example for any youngster in the Welsh community, and we all know how football and the sport in general is important in Wales. So I think reaching a World Cup was a big aim of this generation. And then you're looking at, in the last 10 to 12 years, the work that has been done in the federation has been constantly having that aim, and then you create an ethos that it couldn't get any other result. You look consistently, they found a home. I think the games played in Cardiff now, they're giving the home feeling, really strong support from the fans is what allows you to have the confidence to go into a playoff game and being able to qualify. When you see the players, Joe Allen, Ramsey, Gareth Bale, Ben Davies, this is a group that has got that goal for a long time. So I was delighted to see it from afar, people that I know very well, that they reached a goal that they've been wishing for a long time.
And when you look at the group they've got now in Qatar, they've got Iran, the USA and England in the group stages. How do you think they can get on? And would you have any advice for Robert Page going into the World Cup as someone who managed at the World Cup for the first time in 2018?
Robert Page and his staff, they've done an amazing job. And I think the hardest thing is to get there. And that's where you're trying to control every single detail and every single aspect of your group to try to get qualified. Arriving in the World Cup is nothing can prepare you for that. The biggest advice that I can say that you need to go with an attitude that expect the unexpected. Nothing prepares you for a World Cup that has never been played before in only one city. This one is going to be playing in the winter, which is perfect for international football. It means that every player will be in the optimal moment in terms of physical and mental fatigue. Everything that it comes is brand new. So the only advice I can say that you need to go with an open mind, with the support and the desire of the fans to see the team grow in the tournament, and go with a clear mind of expect the unexpected, because a lot of the things need to be solved on the day.
No one expected them to get to the semi-finals of Euro 2016. Belgium know what happened en route to that, of course.
Gunder down the right-hand side, cross in for Vokes! It's 3-1! Sam Vokes heads Wales into the Euro 2016 semi-finals. It's absolutely extraordinary.
How do you think they can do at the World Cup?
Prediction is something that you do in a pub and you want to discuss about football. But if you ask me from my position as a technical director and manager of Belgium in a World Cup, you go there to be prepared to expect the unexpected and enjoy the ride.
You're preparing for the World Cup as well, of course, with Belgium. You got to the semi-finals in 2018. I guess you've been quite honest. You want to go there and try to win the World Cup. Is that your aim?
I think obviously our mindset in the last 6 years since I've been here has been very clear. We want to win every game we go into and see where that takes us. That allowed us to be number one in the world for almost 4 years. And then from that point in a World Cup, you need to be able to face the opposition and have an opportunity to beat whoever's in front of you. Obviously, we won the bronze medal in Russia. Then we were disappointed with our performance in the Euros by losing against the eventual champions. And that's what you get in major tournaments. There is no margin of error. There are very, very, very small details, and you need to be as prepared as you can. But the major tournaments, we love them because the uncertainty and what can happen in a knockout phase is unpredictable. And I think that's the approach that we have in. But our group has been very consistent. We've been now working with almost 2, even 3 generations within this golden generation that we have, a group of players that they transform Belgian football, and they're going to carry on transforming Belgian football for the next 20 years as they become coaches. And now they got this opportunity to bring the young players through. And we want Belgium to be a top 10 nation for the next 20 years. That's our objective.
What about yourself? You know, you've been doing it 6 years, I think now, come the autumn. Would you fancy coming back to the Premier League to manage after the World Cup? Well,
you know me well, Ian. I think football is not about managers, it's about the players. All I'm concentrating is the World Cup. I think obviously that's a conversation to have with the main powers at the federation. I really enjoyed qualifying for 3 major tournaments, to be in the final 4 of the Nations League. And I'm sure that after the World Cup, we'll sit down and we'll see what's best for both parties.
That's Roberto Martinez speaking to me from the Belgium HQ, and he's back in Wales for the second time in 7 months. The two sides drawing 1-1 here at the Cardiff City Stadium in November at the end of the World Cup campaign. And this stadium reverberates to the sound of Zombie Nation for the 3rd time in 6 days. The teams will be out in just a moment. The Wales flag out on the left at the halfway line, the Belgian flag on the other side. The young mascots stood awaiting Belgium and Wales. Helen Ward and Nathan Blake, our pundits of this evening. You look at this Belgium side, Helen, they scored in each of their last 46 games since losing to France in the World Cup 4 years ago. They know where the net is, they don't do goalless draws, and they don't struggle to score.
They're not a bad side, are they? Any team with Kevin De Bruyne in it has got half a chance. So it's going to be a formidable task for Wales. But hey, we've come up against them so many times in recent seasons, and you know we've always been the underdog. So why not go out there and get another result as we have done so many times in the past?
Yeah, that unbeaten home record ending in the week, Nathan, against the Netherlands. How do you see this evening going?
It'd be extremely difficult, Ian. It's as simple as that. You know, we're up against a quality team, but you know, Rob Page has put out a good team himself for Wales. Yes, we've got likes of Aaron Ramsey missing, but looking at the team, we'd say probably out of the starting 11, he's probably the only one. So it'll be a difficult evening. But how many times have we said that about Wales and come out the other side with a point or a victory? And listen, I just never write us off. I never doubt us. There's no reason to. We've had a decade of some fantastic results, so long may it continue.
And it's a star-studded tunnel as the players get ready to come out. Thierry Henry, the Arsenal legend, who's part of that coaching team with Belgium. He's just had a little chuckle with Kevin De Bruyne. Big smile on the face of Gareth Bale, the Wales captain. And the two teams are about to walk out onto the field here in the Welsh capital. You are listening to BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sport Extra wherever you are this evening. A warm welcome to our UEFA coverage. We have had this month already defeat in Poland, a win over Ukraine last Sunday that we will never forget, a loss to the Netherlands on Wednesday night that we probably will. What next against a star-studded Belgium side? Will familiarity breed confidence ahead of a trip to Rotterdam to face the Netherlands on Tuesday evening? Out come the two sets of players. Bale chucks a bit of water over to his head. The referee takes the match ball off of the plinth on the halfway line, and Wales come out for another big game against the side that they keep on meeting in big matches. That unforgettable quarter-final at Euro 2016, the match the year before it here at the Cardiff City Stadium, where they beat Belgium on their way to France to play in that tournament. Time for the two anthems. Wales in just a few moments. First, though, the Belgium anthem, La Brabantsaren. Belgian fans singing that one loud and proud, holding their scarves aloft in their red shirts over on the far side. And now, well, you can never get enough of this one, can you, here lately? Hein Wab and Hardai, the Welsh anthem.
Sing it loud. Sing it loud and sing it proud.
Rousing rendition from the Red Wall on another packed evening at the Cardiff City Stadium. We know what Wales can do against Belgium. They've stunned them twice in the past 7 years, including that quarter-final win at Euro 2016. This is Game 3 of the 2022 Nations League, live on Radio Wales and 5 Sport Extra. Thank you for being with us. Your commentary team for Wales against Belgium, the former Wales striker Nathan Blake, Wales's record goal scorer Helen Ward, are alongside Rob Phillips.
Yes, another stirring rendition of the anthem for the Wales side, which has Wayne Hennessy returning in goal. Then the three centre-backs unchanged from the Netherlands: Chris Mepham, Joe Rodon and Ben Davies. Connor Roberts remains at right wing back. Nico Williams, formerly of Fulham, of course on loan from Liverpool, he comes back in at left wing back. Ethan Ampadu moves into the midfield alongside Joe Allen. In front of them, Harry Wilson, Daniel James and Gareth Bale, a speedy trio going forward. Belgium have Colin Casteels in goal. Across the back, Leander Den Donker of Wolves, Dedrick Boyata and Arthur Fiet. Thomas Meunier, Yuri Tillemans of Leicester, Axel Witsel and Leandro Trossard of Brighton are the 4 in midfield, and 3 in attack. Michy Batshuayi, either side of him, Yannick Carrasco of Atletico Madrid and Kevin De Bruyne of Manchester City, who just loves playing Wales. Well, there have been some special nights here against Belgium in the past. In the last 10 years, Wales have been regular opponents of the side who've just lost out on top spot earlier this year to Brazil in the world rankings. But they are to be feared, they are to be respected. The referee is from France, he's Benoit Bastien, and assisting him Hikam Zakrani and Aurélien Berthromi, and the VAR is Benoit Millois and Frédéric Haquet, also of France. So Belgium are in their white shirts today, Wales all in red with the orange flash. It's Nations League action. 6 years ago to the day that Wales kicked off their Euro 2016 campaign in style in France on an unforgettable evening. Can they summon the spirit of Bordeaux against Belgium tonight? We're away, the players have taken the knee, no room for discrimination of any sort in our global game, and Belgium have possession. Early touch for Arthur Thiat, who's got bushy ponytail. Mepham under the long ball into midfield. Wilson picks it up, but he's lost out though. This is Carrasco of Athletic, and Batshuayi on the ball now. Tillemans looks for Carrasco again, breaking down the left-hand side. Belgium attacking the vocal Canton end. Wilson goes to ground, wins a free kick. It's 0-0. We've played 40-odd seconds. Alongside me, Nathan Blake and Helen Ward.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, all. Good evening, Helen.
Good evening, good evening.
Another fantastic evening here in Wales. And what a crowd, Rob. Very, very vociferous tonight. A bit subdued the other night, but a lot livelier. Anthem fantastic. Gave me the little tingles on the back of my neck. So looking forward to this evening.
I think it helps that both sides have put on such a strong team. You know, the game on Wednesday was felt a bit like a friendly, which is obviously what this competition's designed to avoid. But yeah, I think 2 strong teams, it's got the crowd well up for it, and you know, it's been a lovely day of sunshine, and it's a Saturday, so I'd imagine there's been a few pints downed before it to help with the mood.
Yeah, and well, it is a lovely evening, isn't it? It's shirt sleeve weather, even though you two are wrapped up. And
it's chilly up here.
And the blue skies with cotton wool clouds above, so it's a lovely temperature to play football. We've got a break at the moment because Leandro Trossard of Brighton has collided with Ethan Ampadu, who's playing in that midfield role today. Now, he often plays centre-back for Wales, but he is for Venezia in Serie A this season. He's played all sorts of positions, but many see him as the future midfield player alongside Joe Allen. I love Ethan Ampadu. I think he's such a... He defies his years, and he has done ever since he made his debut. I just think he's such a technically gifted and aware footballer, and you can see him now, he's pointing, he's not afraid to lead, and for someone so young, I think that's such a good trait to have, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him in that midfield row, because I think it will show us just how far he has come to play such an important role in the team.
Yeah, you know my feelings, Rob. Seen him since he was 17, 18. Since he made his debut for Wales in that holding midfield position. I think it's his best position for Wales. This is Wilson, sees the run of James into the penalty area, and it's just nicked off him by Boyata, and Wales have their first corner, and that's what they'll be relying on tonight, the pace up front of Daniel James, Gareth Bale and Harry Wilson. Yeah, Wilson breaking from a bit deeper, Rob, but Dan James always a threat with that pace. And then, you know, it's hard to say, Gareth not quite up to the pace he used to have, but possesses that real star quality. So good break by Wales.
James has gone across to that left-hand side in front of the travelling Belgian fans, around about 1,000 or so, I'd say. Takes the corner short to Wilson, gets it back. No, a little back heel, puts James into the penalty area. Can't get it past the defender for the cross, but it's a second corner to Wales. It was
sent back right from fish and chips.
That's reminiscent of Hal Robson-Kanu, isn't it, in the Euros? But yeah, just the wrong type of ball there Dan James elected for at the end. But yeah, it's been a promising start.
Oh, Nico Williams has run into the penalty area. They've taken the corner shot again. Can he get to the byline? Has to turn back. Now James, left-hand side, curls in the cross, looking for Roden. Got his head to it, didn't know where it went. Wins the second header. Ben Davies tries to turn. Shot by Ampadu! And Ethan Ampadu! Oh, hang on. Yes, Ethan Ampadu has scored! There was a slight hesitation, but he's given Wales a perfect start. A left-footed effort just inside the box, high into the net. A special time for his first goal for his country. It's a brilliant start. It's Wales 1, Belgium 0.
I'm not sure what's going on. The Belgians aren't happy, but I mean, if that counts, what a finish from Ethan Ampadu. We've just been singing his praises, and it's not generally for scoring goals like that, but what a hit that was on his left foot. It's bouncing all around the place. Joe Rodden's caused problems. Ben Davies has had an effort. Oh, fantastic finish. Unbelievable from Ethan Ampadu. I don't know if the referee was going to give handball against the Belgian, or I'm not sure, but what a finish that is from Ethan Ampadu.
It looked like they wanted a foul for Ben Davies to swing it and connecting with Boyata.
Well,
but that was never going to be a free kick there. And what a finish on the half volley by Ampadu.
There's still a lot of discussions going on with the referee, Benoit Bastien. Tielemans leading it, so is Boyata. There's the fourth official is speaking to Roberto Martinez. Rob Page is listening in as well. I hesitated because there is a VAR check going on. I think they're talking about a potential offside in the build-up to the goal. So we await the VAR decision, and it's been cancelled out. We've got a small monitor in front of us. And I hesitated because the Welsh players hesitated as well.
They did. The referee seemed to indicate something straight away as if it was going to be disallowed, and then Ethan Ampadu's run off and celebrated. So I don't know what the initial hesitation was for, because it can't have been an offside, but I'm still yet to see who was offside in that build-up. But it's been a really good start from Wales, despite that disappointment of it not counting, and you know, they should be buoyed by that.
Well, a shot across the Belgian bows, you might say. Wilson now, midway inside the Belgian half. Wales playing left to right on Radio Wales Sport, via BBC Sounds and 5 Sport Extra, and the BBC Sport website. We're everywhere, global, and we are 164 days away from the World Cup.
Have you got a countdown at home? You're crossing off the days on the calendar, Rob?
Well, I will be. It's quite interesting that Wales' first game is November the 21st. The Premier League and Championship doesn't finish until the weekend of the 12th or the 13th. Long ball forward, Bale gives chase, and Castiles comes out to the edge of his box and then just goes back into the box to collect the ball. 0-0, but Belgium have had a scare as Hungary go 1-up on Germany, having shocked England already in this tournament. Connor Roberts and Carrasco are not on the best of terms on this near touchline. Carrasco's been left with a knock, I think, knock on his hands actually. And it's 0-0. This is Boyata, the former Celtic player, across to Thiel. Orange tips on the boots. Trossard has to give it back to Heath again. Heath back to Castiles. Castiles helps it across, and Belgium can move forward with Den Donker of Wolves. Doesn't go too far, lays it back to Mounier. He was one of the 3 players Hal Robson-Kanu sent the wrong way in Lille. Was brilliant talking about it last night. He said he would have admired the goal if he hadn't been one of those players sent packing for a coffee by Hal Robson-Kanu.
That will forever be one of the best moments in Welsh football, won't it? What a time that was.
Roden is bundled over, he's on the deck, there's no foul though. Belgium go on the edge of the Wales penalty area. Wales have not dealt with this at all. And Batshuayi shoots. And then a second shot, well pushed away by Hennessy. It was Tielemans who got in there from no distance at all. Wales under real pressure here. Cross into the penalty area. Allen helps it away, only as far as Thiet. Thiet goes short to Witsel. Roden is now back up. It's a frantic start, Nathan Blake.
Yeah, really frantic start. I do love watching Belgium. Their rotation is quality. I think it's going to be really difficult for Allen and Ampadu in the middle there. Because players like De Bruyne, they just pull out wide, pull into pockets, really give you a problem.
Robertson alert to the run of Carrasco, cut out the through ball to him.
Yeah, Dan James has to be ready for that ball around the corner. Ethan Ampadu having a little conversation now, but that's going to be the release ball. It's not to feet you want the ball if you're Dan James. It's over the top, anticipate the breakdown in that midfield, counter-attack really quickly.
Saturday night Nations League action. Elite Standard A, as ball is curled in first time by Carrasco and thumped away by Roden, and then James is a sandwich between Boyata and Thiet. Back pass by Witsel, hugely experienced keeper, takes a bit of a chance, scoops the ball away right-footed. Nico Williams into the back of Mounier of Dortmund. Germany have replied against Hungary. It's 1-1 and it's 0-0 here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Hello, Maud.
Sorry,
I thought you were going to say something then.
No, it's really important.
Poised then, Nathan, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I was going to say really important for Harry Wilson to be disciplined today. Just watching him last 2 or 3 minutes, it's him they're trying to exploit. They've got Joe Allen and Ampadu in the middle, Wales. And it's when Harry Wilson presses too early or decides to sit back. Tielemans is pulling him everywhere. Witzel's just going to sit there. But then ahead of him, he's got Trossard and also De Bruyne. So it's causing him all sorts of problems at the moment. He doesn't know how to stick or twist.
It's interesting that they've put Ampadu in the middle of the 3 rather than Joe Allen, who you naturally would assume would be the deepest one, but he's playing more towards the right and getting out to press when he can onto the Belgian left-hand side. And you wonder, I say
Allen's onto a loose ball then from Trossard and can't find Bale. Boyata steps in. De Bruyne tries to turn. He's the captain for Belgium tonight. Wide to Mounier, attacks Nico Williams, back to De Bruyne, always looks for space. There's Kevin De Bruyne and finds it. Ball forward to Batshuayi, cut out by Ben Davies, who's been in top form in these June games for Wales.
Yeah, I think Wales' back 3 and those 2 wing backs are so important tonight, Rob. They can't afford to sit as a back 5 for me, or they get destroyed in midfield. They've really got to, at the right time, press on the wing backs, and those 3 centre backs got to push them in there to help the likes of Allen and Ampadu.
Well, Roberts is, I was going to say, free on this right-hand side, and Nico Williams has curled the ball across field to Connor Roberts, the Burnley fullback.
I think that's why Robert Page elects for these 2 more often than not, because they have got that energy to get up and down. They can do the defensive work, but they can also support in attack. The engines they have. Connor Roberts, he doesn't stop. I know Nico Williams had a rest on Wednesday, but he's equally as effective in attack as he is in defence, and that, like you said, that's going to be so important that they don't just sit back into that back 5.
This is the 3rd game on the bounce that Connor Roberts has started. And he's given the ball away then, deflected into the path of De Bruyne. It's centre field now, it's 0-0. 13 minutes gone. There's Belgium through Tielemans, goes square to Witsel, 15 yards inside the Wales half. Mounier down the right-hand side. He's at Dortmund at the moment.
Yeah, if you're Wales, you spend so much time without the ball. It can be soul-destroying. It's that concentration levels. But then when you do get the ball back, you have to make the decision: do we slow it down and keep it a while, rest in possession, or or we're going to try and counter-attack.
Roberts has nicked the ball off Carrasco, and then Carrasco just falls down on him. The Atletico Madrid winger, really dangerous in front of goal as well.
Yeah, good player, Rob. I'm watching Gareth Bale also just sitting on Witsel where he can, when he can.
Bale looks offside there. He'd made the run into the half. So is Dan James. Boyata tries to get there. James picks it up just inside the penalty area. Slides it into Bale, who puts it wide from 5 yards. He had to hit it first time, slid in, was under pressure, and just couldn't curl it around inside the near post.
I tell you what, I'm often critical of Dan James' decision making, but he did exceptionally well there. He got himself in behind, held the ball up well, and just rolled it into Bale's pass. It wouldn't have been an easy finish by any means, because it was, you know, he'd come beyond the front post, but really clever little pass from Dan James. Bale just couldn't wrap his foot quite around it, but promising move, and that's the threat that Dan James has in behind, and why he's so integral to the way Robert Page sets his team up.
Here come Belgium attacking. Ampadu brought down De Bruyne from behind, just tried to curl his right foot around the brilliant Manchester City player, who scored 3 times in 7 games against Wales. It's the most he's scored against any country. And he's over this free kick. It's a bit of a way out even for De Bruyne. It's on that right-hand side, about 8 yards in from the far touchline, in front of the Ninian stand. It's about 15-20 yards from the left corner of the Wales penalty area. The Wales defensive wall is on the edge of the box. Nico Williams heads the ball away. De Bruyne gets it ahead of Daniel James. And Carrasco punts it back to Casteels, the goalkeeper from Wolfsburg. He's 29, but this is only his 4th cap.
This is why De Bruyne is so difficult to mark, you see. He can work out the system to try and contain him, but he's so difficult to contain. Finds himself on the right back position, centre back position. He's now on the left-hand side.
He does what he wants,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
absolutely.
Exactly what he wants and what his team needs.
Hoists the ball up from right to left, out to Trossard on that far side, pursued by Nico Williams. This is Witsel. Feet again is in space, moves up towards halfway. Bushy ponytail behind him. I think Carrasco and Roberts are going to have a rare old battle on this near side, because Carrasco is often an outlet for him, for Belgium, who are 2nd in the world now. Lovely ball into Tielemans, trying to feed. That's why going through the middle, but Roden exemplary again.
Right, so this is where Wales are going to have to work it out, because as you can see, the Belgians are pressing them into mistakes.
Roberts gave the ball away. This is Trossard, but Ampadu just stepped in as Trossard tried to turn on the edge of the Wales box, and Wilson prods it for Allen to move up to halfway. He's got Bale on the right. Roberts is steaming forward ahead of Bale. James is in the middle, but Bale just overhits the pass, even to the speed merchant who is Daniel James. He's not going to catch that. And it's 0-0.
It was a nice idea, but no, it was too difficult a pass, I think, on that angle. But we're just seeing a replay of the disallowed goal. It was Joe Rodon initially from the cross that was offside. And that's what it is. Very marginal, though, and it's such a shame for Ampadu, because that was a world-class finish.
Yeah.
Just a foot offside.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
It's unfortunate, because in the grand scheme of things, him being there probably didn't make any difference to the play and how it went. So that's where those margins are so unfortunate. But you know, it was a fantastic start. Yes, Belgium have got on top now, but you know, Wales are very much in this, and they will cause Belgium problems on the counter-attack.
Feet now moves forward. Carrasco is wide on the left-hand side. Mepham and Roberts are inside. Feeds it in low across to the near post, and Wayne Hennessy slumps on it. Poland have taken the lead in the Netherlands. The other game in this group tonight, Matty Cash, the goal scorer. So it's 1-0 to Poland, who kicked off, of course, of the 2-1 win over Wales in Wroclaw.
I do like when Gareth Bale pulls out to this right-hand side. I know he didn't get that ball right a moment ago into Dan James, but he's usually looking to switch it there for Aaron Ramsey. And just watching Harry Wilson have a quick word with him to say I was making that late run that Rambo tends to make, so I'll be on for the switch pass, so just look out for that.
Aaron Ramsey's on the bench, I should remind you. As it plays the ball down the inside left position, back inside from Batshuayi to Carrasco. But Wales have managed to smuggle back possession with Joe Allen. He's in a tight situation. Feet was snapping at his heels. He wanted the free kick, but the referee was right there. And a good ball out by Wilson, Hennessy finds Wilson, just gets a touch, stumble, but Nico Williams continues the momentum down the left-hand side. James has made a run inside left position. James, first time shot from an awkward angle, clutched by Castiles at his near post.
Yeah, really good play again from Wales. Great ball out by Hennessy, and Harry Wilson does really well to get around the defender and sets the attack off. Dan James is looking really lively this evening. He is there out ball.
He is, and he's played a lot of football as well. He's another one to have started all 3 games, and he doesn't stop. You think he looks a bit tired, and suddenly he puts the burners on, and he's away. He's such a good threat for Wales.
Yeah, there were 1 or 2 questioning. He doesn't score that many goals, but he just makes the pitch really big for Wales, doesn't he?
He does, and it's not necessarily about him making space for himself. If he doesn't get the ball, if he's made them drop, and they're so aware of his pace, which you can tell they're really worried about it, and then that allows the space for the likes of Wilson, Bale, those sorts of players to get on the ball in those little pockets, and that's where we can be effective.
5 goals for his country for the Leeds United striker.
There goes Harry Wilson again.
Yeah.
On that inside left.
Ampadu fires the ball out to the left side. James is quick enough to keep it in. He's got Williams there, tried to go inside to Wilson, who'd made another run. Davis,
spread the ball now if you're Wales.
Ampadu wide to Nico Williams, wide on the left hand side. Bale hovers just on the edge of the box, can't get the crossover. Blocked by Trossard. And it's still 0-0. You're listening to BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds, 5 Sport Extra, and via the BBC Sport website. Goalless in this Nations League encounter. Wales, of course, qualified like Belgium for the World Cup. Belgium topped Wales's group in the World Cup in the qualification, so they will be heading to Qatar as well, where they will face Canada, Croatia and Morocco.
You see the problem Wales are having now at the back, Rob. Conor Roberts being drawn inside by De Bruyne, and then you've got the 2 of the 3 centre backs on this right hand side, 30-40 yards apart, which then will allow our likes of Tielemans to get through that space, so you have to be really careful.
Ampadu collected a loose ball in midfield, a rare loose ball. Davis is found by him on halfway. Bit of a Nico Williams back heel, but Munir was wise to that. Trossard was there as well. Witsel to Tielemans of Leicester. Tielemans finds De Bruyne moving forward. First time ball to Batshuayi, holds off Roden. Now Batshuayi again just inside the penalty area, trying to find De Bruyne, who blocks the attempted clearance by Conor Roberts from the edge of the box. 22 minutes gone, goalless. And Joe Allen steps in on De Bruyne. Referee right there that time, no foul. Bale can't control. A ball hit fairly quickly at him. Not yet got into the game, Gareth Bale, has he?
No, and it's 20 minutes in, Rob. My fear is doing a lot of work without the ball. I know we are good at it.
Better than Wales were, aren't they?
Yeah, but we are. This is the 3rd game. There are going to be tired minds, tired bodies.
Tielemans to De Bruyne, and that was good work by Harry Wilson. And Wilson wanted a goal kick, but I think it's going to be a Belgian throw. The Canton end, it's fair to say, don't agree with that. Roberto Martinez.
Corner, I think.
Yeah, looks like it is a corner. De Bruyne is walking across to take it. Trossard has gone short as well. 2 Wales players out there. So it's a De Bruyne in-swinger from the left. Hits it right-footed. Headed out by Bale that time on the edge of the 6-yard box. Wilson waits for the header inside. Lovely little header by him to Allen. and now Mepham has it, feeds it short to Ampadu, who strides away from his own penalty box, and Ben Davies is out on the left hand side. James wants the ball early up ahead, but there's only him there. Nico Williams is in field. He'd come across to this near side for the corner. Goalless at the Cardiff City Stadium. Mepham forced to go back towards his own penalty area, then sees an out ball to Ben Davies on the left, just inside his own half. Looks to the runner Connor Roberts, who's forward, hit the Burnley player on the back. He tries to clear the ball away, and James scurries across to hammer it against Carrasco's shins for a Wales throw level with the Belgian penalty area. 0-0.
He's like the road run, isn't he?
He does so much work.
He had no right to win a throw in for his team there, but
Davis thinks about shooting, feeds Allen in the penalty area, turns onto his right foot, blocked by Boyata, and Davis makes sure that Mounier can't break away. He suffered physically for it, took a knock, but he's okay, I think, the Tottenham defense. In fact, he's won a free kick now.
I'll tell you what, when Wales are getting in and around their box, they're playing some really nice football, really nice stuff, and the movement, you know, it's not always the same players as well. Joe Allen's found himself in the area there, nice touch. Thought he was just going to try and bend it, but it got blocked. But there's some really good build-up play from Wales when they do get that opportunity up towards the Belgian final third.
Yeah, making good decisions.
Sometimes they have to think more when Kiefer Moore's not there, don't they? Because they can't just sling it in and look for a big man up front. Although Bale,
yeah, it's a tricky one because Kiefer Moore has done so much for Wales, and he does score big goals, and he is such a presence. But you're right, I think
you just change the way you think.
Completely, and make different runs.
Wilson with a free kick, left-footed, headed up in the air by Fiat. Ben Davies wants a penalty. He's sat on the deck, arms out wide, but nobody else is really interested. There's VAR when you need them. And it's 0-0. That's when you need to keep them more. Crossfield ball by De Bruyne, who's collected, of course, another Premier League title this season. He's on 90. This is his 92nd cap for his country. First scored against Wales in 2013. De Bruyne on the ball again, but this time Allen does enough, and it falls to Ampadu just outside the Wales penalty area. Ball up towards Bale, taken out by Fiat.
It's clever from Bale there. I think he's definitely played for that one, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's
what are you saying, Helen Ward?
I'm saying he's a very clever player. He's a very clever player.
One of your fellow Centurions. Of course, you've never done that yourself, have you?
No.
Long ball full.
I'm never in my own half.
Good answer. De Bruyne hassled off it by Williams. Allen back to Mepham. It's a dangerous one because Carrasco was forcing it on him, but he's allowed Robert space down this right hand side. Now Bale hogging this right touchline, level with the penalty area, heads towards the byline, puts it back onto his left foot, crosses into the middle, looking for Nico Williams. Awkward angle for Williams, has to pull it down on the byline, and then his attempted cross is blocked. James will keep it in on the far side in front of the Ninian stand. The Wales left, 0-0. Every Wales player bar Roden and Hennessy
now to spread, that's it.
In the Belgian half. Nathan Blake gives a seal of approval. Crossfield ball which found Mepham on halfway. Crowd starting to get more involved. Bale now midway inside the Belgian half, fires the ball, curls it out towards the left side, but he bent it too much. No chance of Nico Williams. 27 minutes gone on Radio Wales, BBC Sport Online, BBC Sounds and 5 Sport Extra. It's goalless in the Nations League between Wales and Belgium. And I'm alongside the Helen Ward.
They've worked their way back into the game really well in the last 5 or 10 minutes, Wales. There was a period where it was looking very tiresome for them, and Belgium were keeping the ball well, but I think ironically enough, you know, we're saying Gareth Bale wasn't in the game much for the first 20, but he's got much more involved, and that's where some of the good plays come from. I think on that last one where Bale's crossed it, Nico Williams could have headed it back across first time as it skipped up, but it wasn't easy for him. It was a difficult ball to deal with, but yeah, some promising moments for sure.
Crowd are responding as well. There were 23,500 here almost against the Netherlands in midweek. I lost track of the days. It is a Saturday today, isn't it?
I'm with you, Rob. I'm totally with you.
One more game, Tuesday in Rotterdam.
It's since Poland. I just don't know what day it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Belgium realise it's a Saturday because they've not lost a Saturday game in any competition since 2014 when they lost to Argentina in the World Cup.
And I expect none of them know that.
Well, they don't listen to us, do they? Carrasco bends one into the penalty area from just outside the box on the left-hand side. Away by Ben Davies, but De Bruyne floats in another cross. And then the ball back across by Carrasco is clutched on his line by Wayne Hennessy. 0-0.
Yeah, need to be really careful, Wales. Nico Williams getting out the De Bruyne there on the jog. You've got to really get out to him because he possesses such quality and a great ball in there to the far stick. I have to say, Carrasco could have done a lot better with that. Got the shot on target, but should have done better. Yeah, could have taken it down.
Hennessy has lofted that high into the early evening sky here at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's still very light. I mean, we are in the summer, of course. We do get sunshine sometimes in Wales. Oh, Roberts turns away from Carrasco. Carrasco himself would have been happy with that turn. And then he slides it forward on the right side to James. Boyata's out to him, shepherding him inside. Now Bale, just outside the box, breaks through two, then just has it nicked off him by Tielemans.
Again, getting in good areas. Joe Allen, I think he's finding himself a lot further forward than we're used to seeing him, but he's doing it really effectively. Some really clever runs inside and, you know, using his body well to get himself on the ball. Just slightly ran away from Gareth Bale there, but you could see what they were trying to do, and yeah, it's working.
I think we're all agreed, aren't we, from our chat beforehand, all these players go to the World Cup?
Yeah, 100%.
There's probably one on there I'm suspect about.
Right.
I was winding you up, Rob. It's like Gareth Bale we were saying earlier. I was
right.
You up.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Well done, Rob.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, it has been.
10 days, 11 days.
No, I'm with you, mate. Absolutely nailed on, every one of them. Yeah. Touch wood, no injuries, because we are going to need our strongest team out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll start on November the 21st against the USA, then it's November the 25th against Iran, and England on November the 29th. So Wales help kick off the World Cup. They're in action on the first day. Belgium have got a few more days before they kick off. As Feet drives past a few Wales players, but then Mepham intervenes on halfway. Chris Mepham up towards James, right hand side, lays it back for Connor Roberts, moves inside, looks to the run of his old Swansea teammate Dan James, just overhit the pass though.
Yeah, Harry Wilson again. He's on so many times, either the run or he's getting into little pockets. That left side of Ethan Ampadu, the inside left for those my age and above. The old inside left midfielder, making some lovely runs and getting some lovely space.
I think over the last year or so, Harry Wilson's game's really evolved. I think he's been unfortunate not to start some of the bigger games recently, but I really like him as a player. I think he's intelligent, and I think he's obviously got a wonder of a left foot as well, which helps, but I think he's a clever player.
Mooney, it's a brilliant ball to Carrasco. He's on into the Wales penalty area, left hand side, turns one way and then totally blows a square pass to De Bruyne. I think he tried to shoot on his right foot.
I think he tried to shoot, and then he saw Ben Davies and he knew it would be blocked, and that confused him, and he changed his mind, because Ben Davies does that. That's what he
should be called Block Davis, shouldn't he?
He should, yeah. And I'm going to go with the fact he's seen Ben Davies and thought, well, this isn't going to go in, so I'm changing my mind. And yeah, fortunately fluffed his lines.
Well, we shall never forget 6 years ago in Bordeaux, if it hadn't been for a Ben Davies block in the opening 5 minutes, history might have been a lot different against Slovakia and for the rest of the Euros. But it's 0-0 here, and wow, 33 minutes has absolutely flown by.
Yeah, it's a good game, Rob.
It is
really
good.
Competitive, and like Helen mentioned, final third, Wales getting a lot of stuff right, making good decisions, and it's so important in a game like this that when you do attack, you become a threat, and they've either wound up with a shot, a corner, or created a bit of mayhem.
Boyata to Carrasco again. Leaves it to Trossard, who's on this left touch line. Just watching as Mark Harris of Cardiff City warms up on the side. Carrasco floats in across. That goes well over the top of Wayne Hennessy's goal. 33 minutes gone, 0-0 in the 9th meeting in the last 10 years of these two sides. Belgium have lost 4 of their 7 games in Wales.
I just love the fact that we can compete with the likes of Belgium. You know,
ambitious ball from Davis though, looking for Dan James. It was cut out, and now Tielemans just moves forward. Batshuayi is the target. Hennessy has to come and clears with his legs inside the D of his penalty area.
It was a great ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was that looked really threatening, didn't
defense,
it?
That one, yeah.
Hennessy did well on his toes.
Yeah, really good ball. Good run as well by Batshuayi.
Got 24 goals, Batshuayi, and this is his 45th appearance for his country. He's on loan at Besiktas from Chelsea. I mean, he's been on loan, Dortmund, Valencia, Crystal Palace twice, now Besiktas. He's seeing the world, but he's still got another year left on his contract at Chelsea. Allen, stray ball in midfield, picked up by the Stoke City midfielder, who could be Swansea bound, given his debut at Swansea, of course, by the Belgian manager, Roberto Martinez, who spoke lovingly of Joe Allen last night at the press conference. He really did. Now Nico Williams attacks Tielemans, tries to feed it through to Wilson, and made that run inside left. It's the inside ball that Wales are trying to get forward, and then Bale steps in on Tielemans. But
that's light, isn't it? Light free kick, bit of body contact. Going back to Chelsea, Rob, I think once you let players like De Bruyne and Salah go, you learn your lesson. And you know,
so they don't play, but they won't let him go.
Yeah, well, you've got three of the Premier League's top players: De Bruyne, Lukaku, Salah, and they all used to be at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So you can understand why they let their players develop for so long.
Strong challenge by Metham on Carrasco, no foul. Roberts takes over. Not much happening up ahead. Now James makes the run, but Roberts has held on to it. Allen goes outside, still going Connor Roberts. Now he feeds Joe Allen into James, edge of the box. Thought about a pot shot, but feeds Allen right hand side into the penalty area. And Connor Roberts, curling header, which went just over the near post. He does like scoring for Wales.
Yeah, we've seen it before, and Rob gets in that channel.
He's one of the first names on the team sheet for me, Connor Roberts. I think he's so consistent in what he does. He's and I noticed the other night in particular, he's one of the players that I do think knows the dark arts of the game, as Gareth would say. You know, there's a couple of times there was a free kick and he played it against his own opponent to play it quickly. He rolled a ball onto the pitch so the goalkeeper couldn't take a quick goal kick. He's quite smart like that, and I like that in a player.
He was very funny before the Ukraine game, because Gareth Bale was due to talk to us at the Cardiff City Stadium the day before, but because he was doing all his usual preparations, they said no, he'll be on Zoom. So you've got Connor Roberts. In walked Connor Roberts and said, yeah, sorry, you've got the pound shot Bale here.
No, I do, but that's the thing. It's the thing about this team, though, isn't it? They don't take themselves too seriously, and I think that endears them to the fans, and they're just a group of mates that play, and you know.
Looks like Joe Allen is not going to continue. 37 minutes in, and looks like that's the end of Joe Allen's Nations League camp. I think the word is that he may have hurt a hamstring. He's walking off.
That is a shame.
Yeah, it's probably just fatigue. So easy just to tweak them. Sometimes you get that cramping sensation.
Yeah, and he was playing in that more advanced role that was requiring a little bit more forward running.
Yeah.
So the Welsh Pirlo makes way.
It's not a bad replacement though, is it?
Aaron Ramsey. Not exactly similar sorts of players. What will this mean to the formation now?
I think it will stay the same. As I said, Joe Allen was making those forward runs that Ramsey loves to do anyway. He's obviously going to have to think defensively too, as the whole team do in a game against Belgium. But I don't think the shape changes. I think it remains pretty similar with the two up front, and Ampadu, Ramsey and Harry Wilson holding the middle of the park.
I think Roda was being held then by Michy Batshuayi. Free kick, Wales just inside their own half. They've taken it quickly. The whole game is being played at a really good, energetic pace, I have to say. You wouldn't think this is the end of a long season, would you? Well, actually it isn't. There's one more game to play, but you know what I mean. Just to remind you, the Championship and Premier League starts again on July the 30th. So try and get some holidays in. Aaron Ramsey makes his 74th appearance, so he leaps ahead of Ian Rush and Peter Nicholas, who is just to our left, or was earlier, in the posh seats. He's probably moved to an even posher seat now as Nico. 0-0. 6 minutes to go to half-time. Connor Roberts, long throw, finds James in behind the defence. Boyata gets back there though. James holds it up on the near touchline, the Wales right. Now touch for Ramsey. Little 1-2 with Wilson, no. Ramsey skips over it for Roberts. Back to Wilson. Neppen goes square to Ampadu. Ampadu lies past to Ben Davis. Waits for Batshuayi to get out of the way. Davis moves forward. James now. Left hand side. Trying to feed it back into Davis. Then the attempted clearance. Force to Roberts, who's hooked it over the top from 8 yards. But he was offside anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like he was offside.
Like I said, Rob, like I said, it's either finishing with a shot, a corner, or just creating a bit of mayhem as they did there.
He wasn't offside. He was onside. Oh, it's a shame. He looked like he was just onside, but it was a difficult one on his weaker left foot as well, the way it was bouncing up. But again, yeah, like you said, it's ending in a bit of danger and carnage in the Belgium area more often than not.
Roden header back to Hennessy.
And that was swung the other way. You would say Wales look comfortable this last 10 minutes.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, they've asked some questions, haven't they, Nathan? That's what you would say.
Who, Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've asked lots of questions. And
Ramsey has a great ball. Oh, it was a brilliant,
very good
brilliant stop by Meunier, because I think James was through then, so was Wilson, and now De Bruyne threatens at the other end, moves forward threateningly to Batshuayi in the penalty area, onto his left foot, takes a deflection, and Trossard can't get his feet in gear because the ball rebounded to him, and the Brighton strikers put it wide from 8 yards.
That was a very good break from Belgium, and that's where they're so dangerous. The midfield three all jumped up at the same time, which you can't afford to do because it allowed De Bruyne acres of space to go into. He's going to pick the right pass. Batshuayi does well. Trossard, yeah, he's got to do better there. Good block from Ben Davis, unsurprisingly, but it's fallen to Trossard, who on his left foot, he's got to do better, but he's managed to miss the target, and Wales are lucky there.
He should be scoring there. He'd be kicking himself, most definitely.
Just bounced up on him, didn't it?
It was just that one moment where Ethan Ampadu was just ahead.
Belgium will let the ball bounce, and James is onto it. On the byline, tries to go past Boyata, wins the corner.
I wondered if he could have played it sooner, but I don't know if anybody would have been in there ready for the ball. But it's brilliant, isn't it? End-to-end game. It's really exciting. The crowd are getting behind it. James has done really well there. Defender's gone down too easily, but I just think there were no options in the box. He's done well to win a corner. Wilson has come across to the right-hand side to swing this in left-footed to test the relatively inexperienced Cohen Casteels. His fourth cap for Belgium in goal. Wilson fakes to take it. James has gone short. Now he takes it in the box, and it was a little header by Ramsey, only cleared as far as Williams, but he can't control it, and it's De Bruyne who makes the break. Now Wales have to hear back. Ampadu does. Will the ball bounce in for Hennessy? Oh, he kicked it rather than risk being challenged by Batshuayi. It's now in the centre circle. Bale towers in with a header above Tielemans, and he must have been coming back from an offside position. He says the linesman at distance. What, me?
Yeah, not sure that was offside.
No,
and I'm not sure you can take a free kick in the opposition's half when it's been offside either, but there we go.
The linesman got that one wrong.
I think Hennessy was worried about that being a back pass, but I'm not sure Ethan Ampadu would have tried that as a back pass. So I think he probably could have caught it.
I was going to say,
you would have been full of awe for him if he had, wouldn't you? I mean,
I know he's a brave player on the ball, but I don't think he's that brave.
Yeah, exactly. Trossard now, as Belgium tried to probe. Carrasco is wide on the left, 2 yards from the byline. He's up against Connor Roberts, goes onto his right foot, then pulls it back to the left, still trying to find a way. Low ball in. Ampadu ends up on his backside, but hoists the ball up for a throw-in just to eat up a bit more time. Minute or so of a really intriguing and fast-paced first half on Radio Wales 5 Sport Extra, BBC Online and BBC Sounds. You need a packed lunch for all those, don't you, really, before you get on them? You know, if you're listening, you know where you are. 0-0. Meunier threateningly. Tillemans first turn ball into the penalty area. De Bruyne hits it, bounces off Ramsey. Don't think Ramsey knew much about it. Had his back to it. Nico Williams clears long down the left side. That's going to go out for a Belgian thrown halfway.
Generally speaking, Wales defend their own box very, very well. And it's evident, evident again tonight that they're willing to throw bodies at the ball, get blocks in, and whether they take one in the face or not, they're going to put their bodies on the line. And I have to give credit to Robert Page for instilling that sort of that mentality to his team.
Yeah, in fairness, the likes of Ben Davies, they've had it a long time.
That's
just
true.
Goes about 2016. Roden's come along, he loves defending, Meppen loves defending, Ben Davies just he's so assured and such a good leader.
And he reads it so well. That's how he's able to get in there, isn't he? And make those blocks.
De Bruyne turns on the edge of the box. Batshuayi couldn't control the low ball into the penalty area. They were almost caught then.
Yeah, just
almost
need
the
to be
curse
careful.
of the commentators then.
Yeah, almost. Just need to be careful. That's twice now, this last 5 minutes, that De Bruyne has been able to get behind Ethan Ampadu.
3 minutes of added
a bit
time.
more since Joe Allen's gone off.
Carrasco back to De Bruyne, left edge of the penalty area. Shot goes in, and Hennessy flies to his right. De Bruyne, I think, tried to catch Hennessy unaware, but the Wales goalkeeper was equal to it.
I think that's possibly why we haven't seen Ampadu in a midfield position more often, because he's perhaps not quite as aware, with players around him. He has to look both directions when he's in midfield rather than at centre-back. It's not to say he won't be a top player in that position in the future.
Belgium looking for the breakthrough on the stroke of half-time, but Ramsey nicks the ball off De Bruyne and then gets hauled down by Carrasco, and Carrasco is the first player in the book. And for Wales, it means they can take the sting out of the game and see out the rest of injury time. Although they didn't do that very well against the Netherlands.
They didn't, but they've got a much more experienced group of players on the pitch at this point than they did at that stage in the game on Wednesday night.
So as we approach half-time, what are your thoughts, Nathan Blake? Are you quite impressed with what you've seen?
Yeah, I think it's been a really good game, really entertaining. I think Wales have been a threat when they needed a beat. They got over the press. I think that was worrying them a bit. They weren't able to get out. After about 15-20 minutes, they seem to be stuck. But they've worked that out.
Back heel by Aaron Ramsey then. Oh, and then Connor Roberts goes right over the top of Feet. And he gets caught by Feet again. He's in the walls, Connor Roberts.
Well, he's land on his head then.
He's half jumped and he sort of went straight over the player.
I think Aaron Ramsey has told him to stay down, but don't go off, because there won't be much time for him to get back on. And he's up. He's as tough as teak. He's as tough as the wood he works with to make the furniture. In his he makes furniture in his spare time.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does, seriously, yeah.
I thought you were saying teat as in teak, and I thought you were making that sort of comparison.
No,
I was going to say really good, Rob.
No, I'm not that good, am I? Let's be honest, you've been working with me long enough.
Teat or teak.
But actually, yeah, he's right there, Helen. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah, well done.
Bale right down side. Thought you would have picked that up. Bale still going. Nowhere to go though. He tried to
clever
inside of the left boot down the right side. but it's blocked out for a throw-in. Now, this could be the last throw-in, last opportunity of the half. Baylor does have a long throw, but he goes, touches on by James. Ampadu, Wilson, 25 yards out. Davis thinks about shooting. Blocked by Mounier. Not cleared by, Wilson's gone down injured.
That looked a foul to me. A little nudge.
Just leant on him a little, didn't he?
Wales have possession, and Harry Wilson will have half-time to have that knock tended. He's still on the deck. Well, it's been a really good first half to watch for the neutral. It's been excellent. Both sides have really gone for it. Wales have more than held their own, you have to say, even though they've had to replace Joe Allen with Aaron Ramsey. And so far it's encouraging stuff, and it's even at the break at the Cardiff City Stadium. It's Wales 0, Belgium 0.
Yeah, what an absorbing and engrossing game this is here on BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sport Extra, isn't it? Just great theatre for a Saturday night. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are, whether you're at home or in the car or whatever. Helen Ward and Nathan Blake certainly enjoying this one. Just like two top teams, isn't it, Helen? Just going at each other. Really enjoyable stuff. Yeah,
it is, and right from the start, Nathan mentioned the anthem was really good. The crowd were into it from the off, and I think obviously it helped. Wales made a good start. Ethan Ampadu had the ball in the back of net in spectacular style. Unfortunately, it didn't count, but it's been a really open game, and I think both teams, as you said, they're going for the win. Two top sides being put out by their respective managers, and it's made for a really enthralling contest.
You saw Ampadu there at the half-time whistle. Did you see him? He sort of swiped the air and I think let out a bit of an expletive. Almost sort of bottled up the frustration of that goal being chalked off, and then decided to let the sort of pressure cooker exploded, at the half-time whistle. I mean, that's one of the greatest disallowed goals you're ever going to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it was on the half volley as well, on his left foot. It was a brilliant finish, I have to say.
Sophie Ingle-esque, I thought.
Yes, very much so. Brilliant finish, but disappointed that it was disallowed, because we thought for a good while that was a goal, because the referee seemed to stop it and then give it, and then went to VAR, and in the end it was chalked off. But really good finish, like Helen said. It got the crowd up and got them engaged, and from then on in it's been a really good game.
Wouldn't it be great if they could show the fans, Helen, the replays on the big screen? I know that's not the policy, you never see it in the Premier League, but it's just confusing for fans.
It is, and we didn't get a replay on our screens for a good long 10-15 minutes afterwards, I think, and it was a really close offside. From just watching it here live, if I was sat in the stands, I would have had no idea that it was Joe Rodon that was offside in the build-up to it. So it is a shame, because a lot of people will be wondering what it was disallowed for. But they've seen the ball in the back of the net, and it was as we've said, it was a fantastic finish, and it really got the crowd going.
And a couple of other first-half footnotes, Nathan. Two more great saves from Wayne Hennessy, and Trossard should have scored for Belgium.
Yeah, I thought he should have had a really good chance, as did Carrasco. They've looked threatening. Batshuayi had a lovely ball in from De Bruyne, miscontrols it. He's 8-10 yards out. He gets hold of that, one touch and finish. So listen, they've been dangerous, and you'd expect that, but Helen made the point during the game. Wales get men back, they defend their box really well. And I always say, I think the likes of Rodon, Davis, Mepham, I think they really enjoy defending, and it's been that way tonight. And I think second half, if they can continue that, you can see Wales nicking one on the counter-attack.
The change though, Helen, with Joe Allen being forced off and Aaron Ramsey with more attacking instincts obviously coming on, kind of changes the dynamic a little bit, doesn't it? It puts more defensive responsibility on Ampadu. It
does, yeah, and I think Nathan alluded to it towards the end of that half, where they have been exposed a couple of times just in behind Ampadu, and yeah, it's perhaps the reason we don't see him in there more often, because of that awareness from behind as well as in front. But he's learning at this stage. I sort of take him for granted, because he's been around since such a young age. We forget that he is still so young. and relatively inexperienced. But it will be a challenge for them. But Ramsey's been around long enough to know what his job is, and I'm sure that once he gets into the grips of the game, he'll be absolutely fine. It's difficult coming on into a game as an unexpected sub, when someone's been injured, but he'll get to grips with it. I'm sure they'll be talking in there at half time about what needs to happen, and I expect them to come out and know exactly what their roles are, and hopefully Ampadu can learn from that. And you don't want to let any player get in behind you, let alone Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, I think Rob Page would be saying to Harry Wilson also now, you need to sit a bit more. Because those opportunities came when Joe Allen went off, and as much as Joe Allen is doing, a lot more running than usual, having to get forward and then get back, he tends to just, he's our sitting midfielder. You had him and Ampadu as sitters, and yes, Joe Allen was getting forward at times more than we usually see, but now, Harry Wilson, knowing that Aaron Ramsey's come on, who loves to make those forward runs, or if Aaron Ramsey's carrying a bit, then you sit alongside Ethan Ampadu and just become the ball player and ball winner, and let Harry Wilson, the youngster with those legs, get forward more often. But they are going to make that, they're going to have to make that distinction on who's doing what.
It certainly felt for Ampadu when that goal was chalked off. A lot of people swiftly deleting tweets as well, congratulating him for his first international goal. But what a first half that was. We'll let you two have a bit of a break before we come back for the second half. And let's just take you through some of the other scores elsewhere in the Nations League this evening, this Saturday night. Half-time in the Netherlands, in Wales's group, of course, and the Dutch trailing Poland by a 1-0. Aston Villa's Matty Cash with his first goal for Poland. Half-time at Molineux, where England are playing behind closed doors this evening because of the trouble at Wembley last summer, and it's a replay really of the Euro 2020 final against Italy. Goalless though against the Group 3 leaders, and it's half-time in Hungary, 1-1 in their game against Germany. Meanwhile, Swansea's Michael Obafemi scored his first international goal for Ireland earlier on, as they claimed a maiden Nations League win at the 13th time of asking. Lucky for them, they beat Scotland 3-0 earlier on, and Ukraine topped that group after they beat Armenia 3-0 to make it 2 wins from 2 since they lost here last Sunday. So bouncing back from that heartbreak of missing out on a place at the World Cup. In other news, Wales under-21s conceded a late goal to group winners the Netherlands in their European Championship qualifier. Paul Bowden's side finishing their campaign against Gibraltar in Llanelli on Tuesday. We know that their hopes of qualifying for that tournament ended some time ago. Looking at other sports going on in the cricket today, New Zealand's Daryl Mitchell scoring a career best 190 as the tourists posted a massive 553. A terrific day for them in their first innings of the second test with England at Trent Bridge. England then closing day 2 on 90 for 1 wicket. Lauren Price determined to cap a thrilling week of Welsh sporting success when she makes her professional boxing debut later against Valgerda Gudstensdottir, the Tokyo Olympics middleweight champion, entering the professional ranks at Wembley Arena. And Price says she's buzzing after Joe Cordina claimed the IBF super featherweight title and the men's football team qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah, Joe, I'm over the moon for him, so chuffed for him. And yeah, like you said, the men qualifying for 64 years is great for Wales. And like I said, I'll be flying the flag tomorrow night, so yeah, get the win and get the job done.
It's going to be your first professional fight. How are you feeling? Any nerves going into this one?
Yeah, a little bit. If you haven't got nerves, then there's something wrong in it. But I'm looking forward to it more than anything, to be fair. I'm quite relaxed, just want to go in there, enjoy myself. You only get one pro debut, so yeah, I'm looking to put on a good performance.
Yeah, you had an incredible amateur career, but I guess this is the next step on that boxing journey.
Yeah, definitely. I ticked every box as an amateur, so for me it was just one goal to Tokyo, come back, and then yeah, it was the right time, I think, to turn over. Women's boxing is flying at the minute, so yeah, no better time than to turn over and start the new journey and the new goal, I suppose, to go and win some world titles.
A few alterations, I guess. No head guard. I guess there's going to be much bigger crowds than what you're used to. How do you think you're going to adapt to that?
Yeah, so I'm going into 2 minutes as well. So as an amateur, I box 3 minutes. So I'll be boxing 6-2s tomorrow. No head guard. and yeah, like you said, with the crowd as well. But I'm more experienced, I've been at the highest level as an amateur, and I've prepared well, so yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah, I was asking around about your opponent today, and pretty much all I got was that Lauren is expected to win comfortably. Do you feel that sort of pressure?
No, I don't think of it. I don't feel pressure. No, I just take it in my stride. I'm laid back as it is anyway. For me, I just want to go out and put on a good performance. And yeah, if I do that, then I'll get a win.
Do you feel more pressure given what you've achieved in the amateur and what you've achieved as an Olympian as well? Do you think that, you're there to be taken by the other fighters? Everybody will want to beat Lauren Price.
Yeah, of course. Whoever's in front of me, they're going to want to beat me. But no, I don't think of it as pressure. I kind of strive off it, really. Even as an amateur, I always had a little bit of pressure going into tournaments, as I was seeded number 1 and, favourite for gold anyway, but kind of thrive under that pressure. And I suppose that's where it's got me today as well, being in this position. So no, I just don't think there's pressure. I just think there is an opportunity.
How much did Cordina's win at the weekend inspire you, and has he had a word with you this week about your fight?
Oh, massively. I know Joe well. I was on the team with him, went to the Commonwealth Games with him in Glasgow. So to see him, become world champion, I'm really, really chuffed for him. He actually dropped me a message, actually. I spoke to him on Instagram, just congratulated him on that. And yeah, it's great, obviously being Welsh and that. I'm very proud to be Welsh. We're a small nation, but we all kind of get behind one another. And yeah, I'm just over the moon.
That's Lauren Price there talking to Kerry Coleman-Phillips. Saturday night's all right for fighting again, isn't it? After Joe Cortina last week, it's Lauren Price in action this evening. She talked about maybe fighting in Cardiff, maybe here at the Cardiff City Stadium or at the Principality Stadium at some point in the future. Elsewhere today, if you're a rugby fan, a bit of concern around Dan Biggar, the Wales fly half. He was forced off injured in Northampton's defeat to Leicester in the Premiership semi-final. Wales travelled to South Africa for a 3-match series in July. The Springboks naming 8 uncapped players in their bumper 43-man squad for that series. And it's going to be an all-South African United Rugby Championship final after the Stormers scored a converted try with the last play of the game to beat Ulster 17-15. The Stormers are going to host Bulls next Saturday after they beat Leinster yesterday. And Ferrari's Charles Leclerc has taken pole position for tomorrow's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Red Bull's Sergio Perez is second, ahead of teammate and world champion Max Verstappen. So the teams are back out then, led by Gareth Bale, out for Wales for the second half here against Belgium. Earlier on, we were asking you to give us your World Cup 23. Who's going to be on that flight to Qatar in November? Nathan Blake, Helen Ward and Rob Phillips picking their squads. Do keep that coming in if you'd like to let us know who you would pick. We'd love to know. Let us know on Twitter at BBC Radio Wales, and we'll read some of those out before the end of our programme at 10 o'clock this evening. As for tonight's game, it is goalless between Wales and Belgium. Paul on Twitter saying, although great service, it's time that Chris Gunter and Johnny Williams were rested, unfortunately. Nathan Blake. We were talking about them earlier, weren't we? Do you take those to the World Cup?
Yeah. It's a big question. But listen, I'm just glad I don't have to make that decision in the end. I'm just thinking about Lauren Price, actually. I was just thinking, good luck to her tonight. I got it on record. And, met her a couple of times, spent a little time with her. Lovely lady. And talented as well, really talented. I think the weight categories are suit her better than the Olympics. So
yeah.
So is she going to the World Cup then, or what?
Will she be on the plane?
She probably could.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, she's a former Wales international.
Yeah, I'm sure if you could get to speak to her, Rob, once in your lifetime, you'd appreciate it. But hey.
Actually spoke to her when she was a footballer, believe it or not, playing for Wales.
I'm sure Helen will have come across Laura as well, the BBC Wales Sports Personality of the Year for 2021, of course. Anyway, here come Belgium. What are we going to get second half then? Helen, last 2 games have finished 2-1 to the opponents. Wales have been goalless at half-time in both of them, against Poland and the Netherlands. How's this one going to finish?
It's difficult to say, isn't it? Both sides have come close. Both sides have had chances. I think for me in this game, I didn't see the whole Poland game, I have to admit, but Wales have looked more of a threat in this one than they did on Wednesday night, certainly. And yeah, I can certainly see goals. I just hope that Wales are on the right end of the result this time.
Some goals would be nice. You are with BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sport Extra. We're ready to go. Second half, Helen Ward, Nathan Blake and Rob Phillips.
We're underway. Wales playing from right to left towards the Volkel Canton end. And no changes in the sides as they left the field. So I'll give you the teams in a moment, but Carrasco is moving forward for Belgium. Batshuayi in the centre forward role, and then a through ball from Fiat is too strong. So Wales have Hennessy in goal, then it's Mepham, Roden and Davis, Robertson, Nico Williams the wing backs, Ampadu, Wilson and now Ramsey, who replaced Allen just before half time, and up front James and Bale. Wilson on the ball just inside his own half, has to go back to Roden. And Belgium unchanged from that first half. Castile's in goal, then Donker, Boyata and Fiat the centre backs, Meunier and Trossard the wing backs, Witsel and Tielemans, and up front De Bruyne, Batshuayi and Carrasco. And news on the bench is that Joe Allen has a minor tweak.
Yeah, looked that way, didn't it, Rob?
Oh, Ramsey slipped then, but Wilson spared his blushes, and actually Ramsey's got up and fired a lovely ball out to Nico Williams. Williams takes on Meunier, moves inside, shoots right-footed, always curling wide of the near post.
I love his confidence.
Yeah, nice and positive, isn't it? Straight off the bat.
Yeah, he's not fazed by who he's coming up against. We didn't see too much of him in the first half. I don't think we saw the best of Nico Williams, but he's good with the ball at his feet, and you know, coming in onto that right foot, he can be a real danger for Wales.
Belgium build from the back with De Bruyne, always finds space. Thea with ponytail you die for, wouldn't you, Helen Ward? Look at that for a ponytail. I mean, it's big and bushy, isn't it? Wow. You can't miss him on that pitch, can you?
You can't, no.
Major job when he goes to the hairdressers. Wales have almost nicked the ball in the midfield. It's 0-0.
He's struggling at the moment, Rob. He's hopping around.
He is actually, yeah. So Meunier overlaps on the right-hand side, but Williams gets back to thrust in a foot and make the block at the expense of the first corner of the second half. 3 minutes into it.
Yeah, just got in behind in there, but it's a good recovery. Unfortunately, it has led to a corner, which is always dangerous, but...
De Bruyne has just pointed to the dugout to say he's okay. Welshman Richard Evans is poised to run on, but he says, no, I'm okay. He's going to watch De Bruyne take this corner from the right-hand side. Takes it to Trossard, and then De Bruyne floats it in left-footed. Hennessy had to dive across and got there as Axel Witsel threatened to move in for a header and punched it out for a corner.
Good decision from Wayne.
Good feet as well.
Yeah.
Moved his feet incredibly well there.
Well, De Bruyne gets booed the other side.
I think all 4 corners is fair to say, Rob.
Yeah. This time he curls it in, and 2 players went for it and missed it. Mepham and Davis, and it's going to drift out for a throw-in on the near side, the Belgian right. That's why he's gone short. Meunier's up. This is Meunier, receives from Witsel, plays it back to Axel Witsel of Dortmund, has to go back to Dendoncker, and Boyata feet is up on his feet again. Boyata in the centre circle. Belgium never rush, you have to say that. They just probe and look for, confident that there will be an opening.
Yeah, they're so comfortable on the ball, aren't they? All over the pitch. Always finding little spaces, standing still at times just to find those pockets.
Nobody does it better than De Bruyne, as we've seen in the Premier League as well. Their defeat to the Dutch last week was their first in 6 since defeat to Italy in the finals of the Nations League. 4 defeats in 25 games.
Yeah, it's when it counts though.
That's what I was going to say. The trouble is those defeats come in the big games.
Absolutely.
when
really
you know, titles
Woody
and
inside the
competitions on the
Trossard,
line.
Batshuayi just inside the Wales penalty area, sets up the shot, and it's drilled home by Tielemans, and Belgium have done it again. They've scored against Yuri Tielemans, set up a low drive from just inside the penalty area, and it's Wales 0, Belgium 1.
Yeah, you mentioned De Bruyne, a second or two ago, Rob, but he's not got a bad score and an assist record either. Tielemans gets himself into the box. Good play it was, through the lines from Belgium. You'd have to say it was quite a simple finish in the end by Tielemans.
Yeah, it was nice play.
That's
Good
right as well.
composure.
Yeah, sets him up.
Nice finish.
There's 2 of them there actually. I think it's De Bruyne and Tielemans. It's on De Bruyne's left and Tielemans' right, and he just passes it into the bottom left-hand corner past Wayne Hennessy. Really good finish, accomplished finish.
It was a rare miscue from Ben Davies out here initially at the start of the move that allowed Belgium to get into the spaces. But the worrying thing is that that's 2 games in a row now that the opposition have come out and scored within 5 or 6 minutes of the restart. So that's something that Rob Page will want to look at, and, you know, questions to be asked as to why they're coming out and perhaps not concentrating so much. But, you know, a long time to go in this one yet. Wales need to keep their heads, make sure they get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, it is a fair point you make there, Helen Ward. So 1-0, what have Wales got in their locker? Still plenty of time, only 52 minutes on the clock. But they're trailing again as Belgium score for the 47th game running. Bale sets up a long-range shot and hits it high and wide from at least 25-30 yards maybe. Hasn't quite been there for him tonight, has it, for Gareth Bale? Although you hesitate to say that when he can produce magic out of nothing.
Yeah, I think that was the wrong decision. And again, Nathan mentioned it a couple of times in the first half. Harry Wilson had gone into a good area, and had Bale seen him, he'd drawn 2 players towards him, which, you know, is natural for a player like Bale to attract that sort of attention. But Harry Wilson had drifted into space and would have been through on goal.
Carrasco tried to turn in a tight area around Connor Roberts in front of the Ninian stand, but gives away the throw, which is taken. Wilson helps it on, prods it down the left-hand side. This is Nico Williams. Williams takes on Meunier, tries to go on the outside. Meunier slides in. He's a reliable player, Thomas Meunier. Throw in taken to Wilson. Wilson deeper to Davis, back to Roden, just inside his own half. Looks square for Mepham of Bournemouth. Go all the way back to Wayne Hennessy. Belgium push up to, 5 yards away from the halfway line. Leading 1-0. Yuri Tielemans of Leicester City scores big goals. His 5th for his country. And he's just touched the ball back to Axel Witsel, who sees Carrasco breaking down the left-hand side. Roberts is now goal side, but Carrasco's into the penalty area. Low right-footed drive. And Trossard tried to get a touch. I think he might have just got a touch, but couldn't control it towards the goal.
Yeah, any sort of touch, Rob, that's a goal, I think. Really good play by Carrasco down the left-hand side. Squares at Connor Roberts, gets him into the box, dips his left shoulder, goes right, whips the ball in really dangerously, low and hard. Trossard tries to get a little flick on it. Travelling too quick for him though.
Ramsey in space on halfway, feeds Wilson. He sends Williams scurrying down the left side. Wilson, edge of the penalty area. In front of him was De Bruyne. Back to Ramsey. Nice little turn by Aaron Ramsey. Still on the books of Juventus with one more year to go. But maybe Premier League bound. Wants the throw. Meunier gets the decision though.
Yeah, Rambo just needed to give a simple pass there. Just keep the pressure on, keep the momentum.
The Netherlands have equalised against Poland. It's 1-1. in that one. 2-2, sorry, as Roden goes into the back of Batshuayi, and he's going to get a yellow card, is Joe Roden. Referee drops the yellow, but he picks it up and shows it again to Roden.
I think that was perhaps more for the reaction to the decision more than the challenge itself. I thought he won the ball, but you know, he can't come through the back of players. No, he didn't win the ball, I was wrong. But I think the reaction of Roden perhaps prompted the yellow card from the referee. I was listening to an interview between Hennessy and Connor Roberts the other day, and they said that he was one of the biggest moaners in the team, so it's no surprise to see him.
Oh, you can tell that.
Him react like that. You can just tell by his face, can't you? He's never smiling.
No, he's angry, isn't he? Always angry, which I love, because he's a defender.
Oh yeah, he does. He's very, like you said, he loves defending.
Aggressive,
he's aggressive. He's up behind his centre forward all the time.
Yeah.
I just want him to get more game time. I think he could play in that Spurs team at least more often than he does.
Well, if he doesn't, he's got to get out on loan.
Yeah.
Right, H? He's got to get out there and play games. I say that to all young players. You can be at a big club, but, you know, going back to Chelsea again, they're brilliant for it, getting their young players out on loan and getting them game experience.
Well, Ampadu's a prime example of that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
De Bruyne finds Batshuayi. Batshuayi has space edge of the Wales penalty area, goes square to Carrasco just inside the box, left hand side, floats the ball across beyond everybody. Mooney.
We've lost Rob's line, unfortunately. Well, same thing happened last weekend against Ukraine, but we'll try and get that back as quickly as we can here on BBC Radio Wales. Ian Hunt alongside Rob Phillips, Nathan Blake and Helen Ward at the Cardiff City Stadium. We've played 56 minutes then here in the Nations League, and it is Wales 0, Belgium 1, with Joe Roden on the ball for Wales at the moment. Edge of the penalty area, chips it forward. It's coming back at them though, with Belgium on the attack again. Good challenge by Ampadu this time, up towards Bale. Bale turns, goes down, wants the free kick, and it is given. A Wales free kick over the just over the halfway line, and Wales take it quickly and play it backwards towards Joe Roden inside their own half at the moment with Ben Davies. Wales just struggling to move forward at the moment as Nathan Blake joins me here. They just being pegged back a little bit, Nathan.
Yeah, you just need to get some momentum in this game. You know, you have to say Belgium's doing really well. I spoke about it first half, first 20 minutes. Ian pressed Wales really well. Wales have got to find that outlet ball to that Dan James or a Harry Wilson running on.
There's a good ball forward from Wilson, but it's cut out, and then Nico Williams goes down, no foul, he plays on. Williams picks it up, he's got Dan James in support down this near side by the touchline. He's going to go back though to Ben Davies, and they're going to have to start again back to Joe Roden on the halfway line, and square for Chris Mepham, forward for Ramsey. Nice little ball that through the middle. And now Ampadu, good ball out to the left-hand side for Nico Williams to attack the penalty area. Can he get past his man? Chips it in towards Bale, and it's headed away. Will it go out for a corner? Yes, it will.
Yeah, that was unlucky, wasn't it? Really good player. Nico Williams just tries a little clip pass there.
Yep, we've got a corner, and we've got Rob Phillips back.
Yeah, technical problem solved. Wales have a corner, left-hand side. It's the captain and talisman Gareth Bale to take it. Still 1-0 to Belgium. Header, which is just kept in, headed back inside. Now Williams leaves it to Ramsey. Head to the box is Roden. And Roden tried to curl it and curled it over the top.
Yeah,
Blake and Helen Water back.
Wrong man in the right position, that. Never fancied him as it rolled into him, his body shape. I knew he was going to try a bender, but before he even got to him, he was on his way leaning back. No, just the...
Am I back? I'm back.
You are back, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look too confident himself, but again, promising. They've got themselves back into the game again. Wales had suffered a little bit since half-time, but good to see forcing a corner and getting themselves back up the pitch.
He's never scored for club or country, Joe Roden.
I can't say I'm overly surprised.
Yeah.
Although with his height, he should be a threat at set pieces.
Absolutely.
It'll come in the biggest game.
And his aggression, right?
Yeah.
Attacks the ball well.
Reads the game well as well, so you'd think he'd read the flight of the ball and everything. It'll come.
Comes with age and experience, yeah.
Wales are struggling to get the ball away from around their own box. Roberts has just lost to Carrasco. Good tackle by Meppel, who I think has been good this summer for Wales.
Yeah, he's had a really good time, hasn't he, Rob?
Yeah.
Really good month.
He's certainly nailed his place on the plane to Qatar, I'm sure of that. And Ramsey stabs a foot into Rob Trossard as he tried to control 3 yards away from the penalty area. The Wales box, Witsel.
Someone's got to come out there, though.
Yeah, they're starting to make their way in now. Batshuayi, surrounded by red shirts. Mepham hammers the ball downfield. James will put pressure on Fate. Fate gets a touch. It's handball he wanted, and the linesman, who was only about 2 yards away, has given that, and Fate is going to get a yellow card.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a yellow card in that area with the likes of Dan James running beyond you. Good pressure from James, and that again, that's the outlet we've talked about, and the threat that he offers.
Change for Belgium. Yannick Carrasco is being replaced by Hazard, not Eden Hazard, but Thorgan Hazard, his brother, who scored one of the goals when Belgium beat Wales in March in the World Cup qualifier. And Connor Roberts makes way for Rhys Norrington-Davis. I wonder whether he will go on the left and Nico Williams will switch to the right. Looks like that has happened. So Roberts' game is done. Just past the hour mark, 61 minutes. Rhys Norrington-Davis, who thought he'd rescued Wales a point against the Netherlands in the last game, only to be denied by Roberts' teammate Berghorst.
Great header, wasn't it, Rob?
I thought he had a really good game, actually, Norrington-Davis. I think...
well, the two wing-backs were excellent.
Yeah.
Wing-back to wing-back goal. That's always really encouraging.
Lovely touch by Ramsey, sends Williams away. Low ball into the box, just Boyata stretched and got a touch back to his goalkeeper. It's 1-0 Belgium,
sorry, he offers that balance being left-footed as well. You know, I think Nico has sort of nailed down that spot on the left side himself, but it's a great option to have.
Thorgan Hazard is at Dortmund, his 44th cap. It's Yuri Tillemans who's given Belgium the advantage after 62 minutes. For the sake of this group, Wales are without any points following defeats in Poland and at home to the Netherlands, so they could really do with the Netherlands scoring again against Poland. It's 2-2 in that one at the moment. As Hazard gets a touch, little back heel cross into the penalty area by De Bruyne, but he apologises for overhitting it and goes out for a throw-in on the near side. It's 1-0 Belgium on Radio Wales, BBC Sport Online and 5 Sport Extra.
Just entering into that time of the game, Rob. We want Wales to have a few attacks, you know, gain a bit of momentum and push up this field.
Ramsey seeing more of the ball than he did in the closing minutes of the first half. Little touch to Norrington-Davis. Now James is up ahead. James tries to get there. Boyata times the lunge in really well. James has stayed down, but I think he's okay. But it was a perfectly fair challenge by Dedrick Boyata. Started at Manchester City, where he won an FA Cup. Went to Bolton as well. And Nathan Blake's former teams. Norrington-Davis to Bale. Bale turns just in front of the Belgian penalty area. Slides it in to Wilson. Back to Mepham. Wide to Williams. Williams has Hazard up ahead of him. Bale tries to cross left-footed from the right side. Wilson tries to win a loop ball, which was deflected into no man's land. And Belgium coming away with it with Witsel, but he's pinned on this near side, and then Ampadu goes through Mounier. Has a word of apology, taps his ribs, and it's a Belgian free kick. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, it's one of those situations there. You know, Wales have him pinned in 2v1. So a little frustration in that foul for me from Ethan. no real need to give it away. It's in a position where there's no danger.
He's got that about him, hasn't he? He's got that fiery side.
A few of them have. Rob and I often talk about Harry Wilson.
Yeah.
That little nasty streak he's got in him also. It's
unfortunately, he didn't. Well, he tried to actually. Looking back at the game, he did try to foul. Who was it running through the middle? Yeah, De Jong on Wednesday, but he couldn't get a hold of him. But it's not a bad trait to have by any means.
No, you've got to have it for me, I think. If in the professional game, it's very difficult.
Mind, it's how you stop a Rolls Royce when Frankie De Jong is motoring with the ball, isn't it?
Very true.
Absolutely.
When you played the whole game as well and you're tired, and he was fresh on later in the game.
Yeah, it's the 1-2 down the line which was done for everybody.
Yeah.
And he just off into open space, and it was always going to be difficult to get back onside.
Nico Williams this time. Belgium have plenty of men in the Wales half as Dendoncker plays out to this near touchline. Mounier down the Belgian right. Witsel takes it, helps it away from Ramsey.
Yeah, just need to get up the pitch even 2 or 3 yards. Each time goes backwards, Rob. We're guilty of that in the last game, just sitting on that line while the ball's going side to side and backwards. I'm not saying, I know there's no pressure on it often, but just want to get up when you can see the player who's in control isn't looking for a pass. Just want to get up. You drop when his head goes down, you think he's gonna, or you anticipate the pass coming long.
Thorgan Hazard caught late as the ball is fired in towards the Wales 6-yard box. Hennessy collects and players allowed to go on. Don't think the Belgians be happy if Wales score here. Hazard is still down. Heady knock from Nico Williams. Ampadu now knocks it over the top of James, who chests it down, has control, gets to the byline in the penalty area as Norrington Davis in support. Ramsey makes a run to the edge of the box. This is Ramsey, flicks it over the top. I think he was looking for Wilson, but they weren't on the same wavelength, and he's lobbed it over for Castiles to collect.
I think James was offside. I can't tell from the initial ball over the top. The Belgians seemed convinced of it, so I'm not sure if anything had come of that, whether it would have counted or not.
I think there was just a Belgian coaching conference. Thierry Henry and Roberto Martinez. I think not Richard Evans, but another member of their coaching staff was down there as well. And looks like we're going to have 2 Hazards on the pitch for Belgium, because Eden Hazard is stripping off, which is a big hazard to Wales, you'd have to say. Norrington Davis breaks through a challenge of Mounier and then goes into Dendoncker, and he's left both of them on the deck.
Carnage.
He's like a man possessed out there, isn't he? They've got two physios on now. Just has a word with the referee. He doesn't seem that bothered about it.
No, I don't think either one was, yeah, it was a foul, the second one, but I don't think either one, he didn't mean either one. That one,
it was a bit nastier than I thought.
Yeah. It didn't look that bad. I think he's trying to volley it, and drags his studs down his calf.
Yeah, I don't think he's anywhere near intentional. It's just that you've come on as a sub, and you go out there, you've got a lot of energy to burn, bit of adrenaline in you, just a little bit too keen there, but I think there was no intention in it. I don't think he meant to hurt him, but it was a little worse than I'd originally thought it must have been.
So Eden Hazard and Dennis Praet. And it's we're just about. Norrington Davis has just been shown a yellow card, so that's his second booking, so he won't be going to Rotterdam. His summer holidays can start early. Just last minute instructions for the 2 Belgian substitutes.
Looks like Connor Roberts might be starting again
he's going to
in the Netherlands.
Summer, but the Kreinen Capo, as they call him, is full of beans whenever he plays and pulls on a Wales shirt, or frankly whenever he pulls on a football shirt, you have to say. As Amor Heed rings around the Cardiff City Stadium, the second anthem of Wales.
I think this crowd is so good at knowing when the team need a lift. That Nathan mentioned a few minutes ago, that they're getting a bit pinned in, unable to get out of their own half, and I think the crowd, they know that and they sense it, and they try and get behind their team, and it's it really does help. You know, you talk about crowds all the time, but the red wall really are something
that unity with the players.
Yeah,
don't
they do. They really identify
do.
with them,
Yeah.
and it helps
really
the players.
well, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, the best ball from Norrington Davis into Ramsey then. Ruben Colwell is warming up on the side, the Cardiff City youngster.
It usually comes with the red wall at that time when most fans are frustrated and start getting on their team's back. They go the other way.
They do, yeah.
They go the other way and start trying to lift.
I always think of that goal, Ben Woodburn, that he scored just as they were singing the anthem. Was it Austria?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's the time when I really noticed it, and they've been great ever since then. When allowed into stadiums, of course.
Quite. Brennan Johnson is also stripped, so there's going to be a trio of Welsh substitutions here. I suspect Gareth Bale will be one of them.
I'm really surprised that Sorba Thomas isn't one of them.
Yeah. He's only had, I think, 13 minutes of action.
And I mean, I don't. How many subs can you have in these games?
5.
So that'll be that's it, isn't it then? With those 3, Norrington Davis and Ramsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'd like to have seen a bit more of him. It would have been an ideal opportunity in these games.
Davis hoists a ball out towards Nico Williams, who collects it on the right-hand side. Ball into the box, and James can't control it. And then goes into the back of Boyata.
He's got it that first time, Rob, I'm afraid. For me, see it again on the replay. Just needs to sweep that in right-footed.
Yeah, I agree. But what a pass out to Nico Williams, and his touch and cross was phenomenal.
Yeah, great ball in as well. Drilled in to Dan James. I think as he's running so quick, it's going to be always going to be difficult to control that.
So Kevin De Bruyne makes way along with Leandro Trossard, and although he's had boos, I'm sure he's going to get a warm ovation, Kevin De Bruyne, because it's just a joy to watch a player like him play.
Yeah, he's class, isn't he? You know, the one over hit cross he hit, he apologised. I suspect he doesn't have to do that too often, because he's just such a technically gifted, aware player. Yeah, he's you don't like to see him playing against your own team, but he is a joy to watch.
So Ben Davis has been replaced by Wes Burns. Wilson has been replaced by Johnson. And just waiting to see who else is coming off. It's Gareth Bale. Colwell is still waiting, so I think it's officially Johnson and Colwell. So Johnson, Colwell and Burns are on for Wilson, Bale and Ben Davis, which means that Nico Williams has switched back to the left-hand side, whereas Burns goes on the right-hand side, and Rhys Norrington Davis occupies the left-sided centre-back role, as he did so well in Poland.
Yeah, I think Helen made the point, though, of you're really disappointed if you saw Thomas, the season he's had, the assists he's created. He's playing in a higher league. I don't know whether Rob Page is just looking to have a look of certain players, but yeah, I'd be disappointed not to be getting some game time.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he did have an injury towards the end of the season that they thought was going to rule him out of the playoffs. So whether it's protection, but then why pick him if you're not able to play him? So yeah, I don't know.
Well, he actually flew to Poland, whereas Brennan Johnson, after the playoff final, stayed
absolutely
at home and waited for the Wales players to join them.
So you do get the feeling it's down to choice, but you know, I think Burns done brilliantly in Poland, Rob, but I'll be disappointed, like I said, if I'm sober.
Well, we might see him in Rotterdam, I suppose. But there are 74 minutes gone. It's 1-0 to Belgium in this Nations League encounter. And Wales are in sight of successive home defeats.
Interested to see how young Colwell does as well.
Yeah,
against this opposition.
But to step up from the Championship, and how?
Yeah, something tells me he can play at any level, to be honest with you, Rob. He's got that about him.
Hazard rocked off the ball by Mepham, and Johnson sprints down the right hand side. Now Cowell's there, so is Ramsey, so is James. Johnson's still going. Brennan Johnson shoots left footed and just curled him wide of the far post from the inside right position.
Yeah, it's great play again from the youngster. So positive, Rob, every time he gets on the pitch.
Yeah, he's another one, he's fearless,
run.
isn't he?
Yeah, down that right hand side. And he just backs the defender into the box.
It's actually a corner, so it took a deflection, and Ramsey has gone across to the left side to take it. 1-0 Wales trail. Not out of this though. Ramsey floats it across, looking for Colwell. Batshuayi holds it up, edge of the box. Plays it out to Muniz on that left-hand side. Wes Burns is there as well. Keeps the ball in. Wins back Wales possession. Burns of Ipswich Town made his debut in Poland. Floats the ball into Ramsey. Lovely run by Ramsey, but then Dendoncker snaps out the danger by nicking the ball off Aaron Ramsey. And now Batshuayi's got a loose ball in midfield. He's got Eden Hazard steaming forward on one side. He looks for Eden Hazard. Onto the ball now, just inside the penalty area. Gets support though from Thorgan Hazard. Hazard crosses into the box and beyond. Sorry, it was
There's about 8 Hazards in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, sorry. He was all over the place. 1-0 Belgium.
One of the Hazards did something, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, but the two Hazards and Prek, they do look similar, Rob, in fairness.
Funny that.
They do, the three of them.
Except one's wearing a captain's armband, but we won't mention that on here. So Wales are down to 14 minutes to rescue something from this game. Still 0-0 between England and Italy, by the way, in a deserted Molineux, and still 2-2 in the other game in this group, Netherlands against Poland. Williams has popped up on the left again. Ramsey tried to float the ball over the top of Munier, did so, but Williams couldn't keep it in on the stretch, and it remains 1-0 on Radio Wales Sport via the BBC Sport website, 5 Sport Extra, and on BBC Sounds. There you go, I've finished my party political broadcast.
I was going to say, Rob, last 10-15 minutes of games, I think it's so important that Wales learn to get back into these games against the top class opposition. They've done it the other night and unfortunately just switched off for a moment and ended up losing the game, but I think that's something that Rob Page will be really encouraged about. If Wales can, against this sort of opposition, come out and get themselves a point or get themselves a goal and get back on level terms, because the higher you go and more tournaments you play, it's so important. It's imperative, really.
Well, it could be so important, particularly if it's a shootout between Wales and Poland to avoid bottom spot and relegation in the autumn. Roden is almost muscled off by Batshuayi, but recovers really well. Batshuayi slams the ground with his arm, as if to say, how did I let that go away?
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. Great shout.
Williams turns one way, runs into Prate, who is actually on loan at Torino at the moment from Leicester. Ramsey driven back towards his own corner flag. Oh, he's inches from the byline. And this time he does wait for Eden Hazard. They have a smile as he knocks it against the former Chelsea player and current Real Madrid player now for a goal kick. Nice touch.
Yeah, he did well there. He used his experience. Didn't panic, didn't just try and lash it away.
It's like the old nutmegs, isn't it, when they do that to you?
Yeah.
I know. It's been such a good game, though. I have to say.
I was going to say it's wonderful Wales are at this level, right, Rob? We're watching this quality of team come to Wales in a Nations League game.
Colwell now curls it out to Williams. Nice ball by the Cardiff youngster. Williams floats in across. Looking for Johnson. Bounced off a Belgian defender. James won't keep that in, but it will be a Wales throw. 2 yards from the corner flag in front of the Canton end.
And it's great that these younger players are coming into the side against that level of opposition.
Absolutely.
And still, Ruben Colwell's done great there. And, it's like you said, a massive step up for him at this level, but they're fearless.
Williams hoists in across. That's too long for everybody. Wes Burns is in there, just beyond Ruben Colwell. Yeah, I think I think he will be on the plane. I had him in my 23. Do you have him in yours, Helen?
Who's that?
Ruben Colwill.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I just think, you know, he went to the Euros, took in that experience, and he's been in and around the squad ever since. And he tends to get.
I wish Cardiff appreciated him more, Rob, if I'm totally honest.
Well, surely.
I think if he ends up leaving Cardiff, he will grow quicker. Unfortunately, because I don't think at the moment he's really appreciated at Cardiff.
Brennan Johnson is down in front of the byline. Wales wanted a free kick against Dedrick Boyata.
Looks like he's got a knee in the back there, in the lower back or something, Rob, where he's holding himself.
So we've got a monitor. They took the goal kick short. Boyata played it straight at Johnson.
I don't know. It's just a tackle and a twist, maybe.
Yeah.
Not sure they were going to get a free kick for that.
Yeah, man. Going back to Ruben Colwill, he's ready. He's built like a man. He's not a. You see these young players that are skinny and not ready for the physical challenge, but he's clearly ready for that because he's very tall. He's strong. He's got the physical presence already. He just needs that game time and that experience. And everything I've seen of him has been really positive.
And it comes down to belief. When your manager believes in you, the greatest players ever. I remember listening to Alan Shearer when he spoke about it. That belief. And I think it was a 96 Euros and being told he's going to be #1 and going, I mean, he's the greatest striker England's ever seen, right? So it comes to every player. You have that confidence from your manager, that love. It's so important.
Oh, 100%, and especially for attacking players as well. You 100%. Want your manager to believe in you and back you, and that allows you to go out and do what is natural to you. You're not worried and looking at the clock thinking I've got 10 minutes to impress or I'm off, because that's the worst feeling. I'm sure you've been there yourself where
Matt Letizia, Alan Ball.
Yeah.
He's on the ball again now, Colwill. Mepham curls it out to the far side. Burns, lovely touch. Takes it past the defender who slid in. Where's Burns? Cross into the box. That's not such a great touch. He's hit it too long.
It's well played though, Rob.
Really well played.
Yeah. Not sure he dropped the shoulder on there. Might be
I think that was Thorgan Hazard. Oh no, maybe I'm not going to guess anymore.
I said they look the same.
No, there's Craig midfield. It was Thorgan Hazard.
Okay.
I've got to be right with one of the Hazards one of these days. It's a hazard of the commentary occupation. Here all week.
Great job with the shoulder though, wasn't it?
You literally are here all week. You have been.
Sometimes I feel like it. I've been here all week, yeah. That's a nice chest down by Mepham.
He's been really good tonight. Again, in and out of possession. I've really enjoyed watching Mepham play.
He's moved forward over into the centre circle. Picks out Colwill in a bit of space. Colwill finds James running towards the penalty area. Wide to Brennan Johnson, and it's another Wales corner.
I tell you what, substitutions often disrupt the flow of a game, but these three have come on and made a really positive impact. Colwill, Johnson and Wes Burns on the right. I think they've done exceptionally well.
You just sense something in the air, don't you?
Yeah.
Crowd up, players up.
Corner to Wales from the right-hand side. Roden, he's headed it away from goal.
That was the moment.
Belgium do not panic though in tight areas. They're near their own byline now. And they've managed to find an out ball to Casteels, who's floated it forward. Not the best clearance. And it's with Norrington Davis. Roden just outside the centre circle into Ramsey. Ramsey, little back heel brought down by Tillemans. Too cute for the Belgian goal scorer then. Ramsey takes the free kick quickly out to Burns. Johnson is there, so is Colwill. Colwill floats down that right hand side. Skips past one. Brought down, was he? Yes, he was. Lights and flags eventually.
He's been really tidy since he came on. He just looks so composed on the ball. Really good touch. He's got a sort of gracefulness about him, hasn't he? I can't believe he doesn't play for Cardiff.
We said about Frankie de Jong earlier. Cruises. That's what he's like, a Rolls Royce, a young Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Beautiful player to watch. And his mind is quicker than most other players. That's why I like him. He's not just technically gifted, his mind is brilliant as a footballer.
He's won a Wales free kick. 10-11 yards from the left corner of the Belgian penalty area. Aaron Ramsey stood over it. Colwill and Roden and Mepham and Johnson and Norrington Davis, who scored the header against the Netherlands, are in the middle. 5 minutes to go on the clock. It's 1-0 Belgium. Can Wales retrieve this? Ramsey waits. Whistle goes. And whistle goes because the referee's seen some argy-bargy. It's been all right, the referee, hasn't... now he allows play to start, and it's a header over the top from 7 yards, and it was Roden again. He's had 2 really good headed chances.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's missed that one, Rob. It's a great ball in.
He's going away from goal, I suppose. That's the only thing he can say, but he's on his own.
Yeah, you want him to do a bit better than that, though, don't you?
I think his reaction says it. Rob Page doesn't look happy with that effort either.
How does he not score, I think Rob Page says, or at least hit the target.
Castiles has knocked that out for a throw-in. It's gone to the Belgium bench.
Don't see Rob Page angry very often, do you?
No, but that's something, again, youngster, something you can work on, right?
Yeah.
Attacking corners and free kicks.
Norrington Davis told to go back to Hennessy. 4 minutes to go. Ampadu touches it back to Norrington Davis. Wants a bit of running in front. Amadou hits the ball first time, looking for James over the top. Williams breaks through a challenge. Still going, Nico Williams. Plays it into Ramsey. Ramsey into the penalty area. Chance here. Brennan Johnson has scored. There's a flag up again. There's a flag up. The Wales celebrations will be cut short again, I think. At the start and near the finish, the celebrations have been curtailed by a flag as Johnson celebrated what he thought was his first goal for his country.
Yeah, let's see on the VAR, Rob.
There's a VAR check.
Yeah, because that was tight.
That was a lovely move as well. It deserves to be a goal.
We wait, an anxious wait. The crowd can't see it.
Neither can we.
Brennan Johnson waits, we can't see it. And Belgium escaped again. Everybody waits. This is it. Excruciating for Wales and for young Brennan Johnson in particular, heading to the Premier League. Can he sign off the home game with Wales with a goal which might just rescue a point? We still wait.
The longer it takes, the more hope you have, but it's obviously very tight.
Referee still waits. Now he cups his ear with his hand. We're still waiting. VAR says goal! Brennan Johnson starts the celebrations again. Runs to the great Campton end. And now he's engulfed by his teammates. The rising superstar of Welsh football has made an impact. And it's Wales 1, Belgium 1.
Fabulous goal. Fabulous goal. Really, really great build-up, and what a moment for that young man. And I'm glad that he's gone off and celebrated properly at the end of that, because so often with VAR you see that celebrations are cut short and you don't get to enjoy the moment, but his team have gone over with him. It's a massive moment for him, and we're seeing the replay here. Fantastic pass from... it's very tight. It is very tight, but it deserved the goal, and it was finished brilliantly by Brennan Johnson.
Well, he's obviously level, but Rambo does well. You think he's tackled the player or trying to keep the player, gets back up really quickly, and then a lovely double touch with a little back flick sets up Brennan Johnson, just comes onto it, right footed, bends it down and low past the goalkeeper. Like you say, Helen, brilliant for the young man.
Now, let's hope it's not double Dutch, because we celebrated the goal, the equalisers we thought for Norrington Davis, and the celebrations were cut short when Netherlands scored again, deep in injury time. But Wales may just have got there. Nations League campaign off and running. Oh, Nico Williams is taking a chance. Gets admonished by referee Benoit Bastien. That was one of the most excruciating waits I've ever seen for a goal.
Yeah, no, it was. But as I said, the longer it takes, the more hope you get, because they're obviously looking very closely. And yeah, as soon as he's gone to hold up his hand and signal the TV, you know it's a goal.
Ramsey nicks the ball in midfield, plays it forward. Maybe a chance for James, but Castile's just got there.
Daniel,
just hesitated, didn't
the
he?
player who's on the ball.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey, he's told you what to do, where to run. He's thinking, I know what he's thinking, Dan James, I'm goal side, but I'm the wrong side. It wasn't, because Aaron Ramsey bent it round the player, straight into his path, but he had come the other side, Dan James. Great opportunity.
There are 6 minutes of added time to be played. This crowd feel there could yet be another famous night in the offing against Belgium.
Yeah, you do get the feeling though, Rob, they would have learned their lesson after the Dutch game. Don't switch off, celebrate, enjoy, then switch back on straight away.
Hennessy looks for Colwell, it bounces off a Belgian head and out for a Wales throw-in. 3, 4, 5 yards from the left corner flag. Nico Williams has stayed forward. He's on the ball now. Ampadu makes a dart. Johnson, little back heel. Can't find Daniel James. But then Williams forces an error. That was Pratt. No sign of an Hazard there. Looks like Belgium are going to introduce Luis Openda.
Well, we said, didn't we, Rob, during the last 5-10 minutes, you could just sense. Helen mentioned the crowd, how they engage when they're most needed. They sense that they don't go against the team, they go with the team. And we just had this feeling that there was a goal coming. Rode on 2 headers, missed. And then the young man who's done so well since getting into this international team, Johnson, comes up with a lovely little finish. Batshuayi, nice bit of control, sends Theat across halfway. Morgan Hazard into Tielemans. Tielemans forward to Eden Hazard. Hazard midway inside the Wales half. It's finished England 0, Italy 0. Eden Hazard on the ball again. 10-15 yards from the Wales penalty area. Colwell back there helping out. Now it's Witsel. Witsel to Dendoncker. Dendoncker wide to Mounier, right hand side. Inside Nico Williams. Floats the cross in. Hennessy went to get it. He knew he was going out. And 2 minutes of the added 6 have been used up as Openda gets ready to replace Axel Witsel. As we said, Rob, there's just something in the air, wasn't there? You could anticipate, you could feel the goal coming, and yeah, it was tight. You know, probably the tightest VAR I've seen. I think you were even going to say it might have been half an inch offside.
No. Perfection.
But, yeah, absolutely.
But I think you're right in terms of the sense around the ground. I think on Wednesday it didn't feel like we were going to score, and potentially we scored against the run of play to get that equaliser. But tonight it's been coming. We've created chances, and the substitutions, as I said before, they've made a really positive impact, which is so great to see, that we're not relying on Gareth Bale all the time. You know, the last 2 goals haven't been him, which is another thing to be positive about.
Yeah, well, it reminds me of, dare I say it, Real Madrid, when they play under Ancelotti and bring those youngsters on, and the legs and the energy, which teams just can't cope with. And I think similar tonight, this Belgian team got into a rhythm, played some lovely football, got themselves ahead, and then Wales, Rob Page with the changes, credit to him.
Well, if they can hold out here, it'll be another famous night against the Belgians. 7 years after Bale gave belief to Welsh football with a winning goal in the 2015 qualifier, which led Wales to Euro 2016 and their heroics there, and their quarter-final win over Belgium.
What have we lost to them since that, Rob? Twice, I think we've lost to Belgium. That period, we played them like 6 times.
Lost in Leuven, and then drew at home in November when Kiefer Moore equalised. James tries to work his way down the left side. Johnson wants the ball. What a moment for Brennan Johnson, his first Wales goal. His dad was close to a Wales shirt, but never pulled one on. And And Steve Cooper, the Forest manager, a proud Welshman, will be absolutely elated as Ampadu scoops the ball over the top. It wasn't a bad ball.
That's a good ball because it stayed in as well and bounced outside the box a couple of times.
Do you know what else I think's been a real positive for Wales is Ramsey's performance in the second half. His energy's been a lot higher than it was in the Ukraine game. I don't think we saw the best of him. I don't think he was at the fitness levels he'd like to be at, but today I feel he's been a bit sharper, and this second half in particular is difficult coming on in the first half, but second half he's been involved in most of the good things Wales have done, and he's really driving the team now.
I've got to say, what a pirouette and the little back heel to set up the goal.
Yeah, it was beautiful,
I can't think of many other players on that pitch. Eden Hazard, maybe.
He's just classy, isn't he? He's a real classy footballer.
Class act. Mounier still going forward though. I make it 5 of the added 6 minutes. Gone. Hennessy clutches the ball. He's been safe all night. No chance of Tielemans' goal. And
aside from the Tielemans goal, he hasn't had to make a save in the second half. He's come out for a couple that, you know, he's punch clear, but he's not been tested as much as perhaps you'd imagine.
No, they had more chances first half, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just poor touches and poor finishing, really.
Hennessy hammers it forward. Ramsey,
I don't know what the ref was doing there.
Yeah, he almost had the ref in his way then as well. It's finished Netherlands 2, Poland 2. As Helaman Hadai rings around the Cardiff City Stadium again. This time in celebration.
We just seem to have something over this Belgium team, don't we? Don't want to speak too soon. But always seem to do well against them when it's most important, most needed.
They're still probing the Wales defence. There's still work to do. I make it the 6 minutes are up now. The referee looked at his watch.
I mean, I don't understand why referees do this. It's almost like they wait for the last attack.
Yeah, they're waiting for something to happen.
Donker strides forward, then plays it wide to Mounier. Mounier into the box. Half cleared by the Wales defence. Tielemans into the penalty area again. Hammered away. Final whistle goes.
I think Daniel James has realised.
James carries on, but he doesn't know. The game is all over. Wales's Nations League campaign is off and running. They've held mighty Belgium, and we've seen the dawning of a new era with Welsh football, because Brennan Johnson has scored his first goal for his country, set up by classy Aaron Ramsey, but so well taken. It was an excruciating wait for Johnson to get the goal confirmed, but it was well worth the wait. Wales have got points at last in the Nations League. It's finished Wales 1, Belgium 1.
Oh, what an absolute belter of a game that was here this evening. Hope you enjoyed that one. Oh, well, I think for many people that is the welcome to VAR moment, isn't it? So many people inside this stadium going through that excruciating wait on a VAR check for the very first time, and you know, able to celebrate at the end of it. Brennan Johnson celebrating twice initially, and then realising there was a VAR check, and then once it had been confirmed that he had been given the goal, going over to the canton end to celebrate again. And in the end, that is the mood here. One of celebration for Wales as they get the points. They avoid a 0 on the scoreboard this evening, and they avoid a 0 at the bottom of their Nations League table. It's the Netherlands who top the group after a 2-2 draw with Poland. They were 2-0 down in that one. Belgium second with 4 points from 3. Poland then at third, also with 4 points from 3 beneath Belgium on goal difference. Wales bottom, but with a precious point to take in their trip to the Netherlands on Tuesday evening. All of the Wales players are inside the centre circle. At the moment, lots of hugs for Brennan Johnson after his first Wales goal, as Belgium go over to thank their travelling supporters. What a a match that was, Nathan Blake and Helen Ward, not just in the context of what it means for the Nations League, but what it will mean for Wales going into the World Cup, competing against one of the very best teams in the world.
Yeah, certainly, and I think as Nathan alluded to in commentary, it was really important to be able to fight their way back into that game, which they did on Wednesday, but they've learnt a lesson very quickly and they saw the game out very well today with longer to go as well. So it's the performance, the result, everything about tonight is a real positive for Robert Page taking his team into Qatar in the winter.
I think we're getting a full lap of honour this time, aren't we? But they are going to sort of come over to the grandstand right in front of us, the Wales players. Robert Page right out in front. See how long he was stood there waiting for that VAR check. Arms folded, edge of technical area, and then the joy, the release at knowing that the goal had been given, and they're going to do a mini lack of appreciation perhaps. Nothing on the scale of what we saw last Sunday here, but nonetheless, every reason for Wales to feel happy with themselves.
Listen, Helen made the point, right, that the fans' engagement with the players at the right time, when the players most need the fans, the red wall always comes up trumps, and that was one of those moments. They engaged, they started singing, got behind the team go and get the equaliser. And I think if you're Robert Page, when you speak about the fans and these players, you speak about the fans, you really, you mean what you say what you mean, because they recognise that a night like tonight, they were so needed, and it was so important for them to engage with the fans, with the players, start singing, encourage them, lift them up, and they went over and got themselves a goal, got themselves over the line. Fantastic again from not just the Welsh players, but these fans also.
I was just looking at the stats for the game, they just came up on the screen. The possession wasn't too bad, 41% for Wales, but Wales actually had 13 attempts to Belgium's 9, and I think that shows the strides that this team has made. They're not just coming here to sit back and soak up a lot of pressure, they're actually able to do good things in the opposition half as well, and we saw that particularly in the first half, creating things around the box, and then obviously with the goal in the second half as well. But it's really positive. I think they have more corners than Belgium too, so they're getting in the right areas, and it's not just by chance that they're nicking these goals at the end.
It's a bit of a farewell, really, I suppose, to the supporters at this home ground, because it's the last home game until the 25th of September, and the game against Poland in the Nations League, which will be possibly the final game before the World Cup, unless they're able to squeeze a friendly in October or something like that. We don't quite know whether they will be able to, but they are doing a full swoop of the pitch, the Wales players, over towards the Canton end that you mentioned. Look at that! Look at them bouncing up and down there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it can't be understated, Ian. It's just, there aren't many club teams, I would say, who have that sort of engagement between player and fan, and it's real. I witnessed it 2016, in the Euros. Again, this time around, okay, we didn't have as many fans there, but every home game, you feel it, you see it, and listen, they appreciate the fans as much as the fans appreciate the players. I think it's a wonderful partnership, a long way to continue.
Belgium have disappeared into the changing rooms. Wales avoiding defeat to the second best side in the world this evening. Wales' record against Belgium since 2013, when they played them 9 times, played 7, won 2, drawn 4, lost just once, and over they come towards the tunnel, and they'll head down there and then begin preparing tomorrow for the trip to Rotterdam on Tuesday. That one will be live on BBC Radio Wales as they finish this packed schedule of matches away to the Netherlands. A couple of other full-time results: England 0, Italy 0. England with 2 points and 1 goal from their first 3 games, bottom of Group 3. Not a good start from them at all. And Hungary 1, Germany 1 was how that finished in Budapest. And the team head down the tunnel. Brennan Johnson there, still smiling after that debut Wales goal. Let's talk to Nia Jones, the former Wales international, who is in studio for us. She's part of the Match of the Day Wales team. You can watch it back. You can watch it tonight on BBC One Wales in the iPlayer at 10:20. Hiya, Nia.
Hi, hiya. How are you?
We're very well, thank you. What did you make of it?
Oh, do you know what? Don't you just love Wales against Belgium? I think you forget sometimes that they are the second best team in the world. I thought particularly first half, I thought we controlled the game. I thought we had terrific balance in terms of personnel and shape. I thought our distances out of possession were brilliant. Won the ball back high up the pitch and looked dangerous. Overall in the whole game, we had 13 attempts to Belgium's 9. And the quality and experience that they have on the pitch, compared to, Rob Page rolled the dice towards the end, but we've now got youth that can make an impact, that come on absolutely fearless, and how fitting that, Captain Aaron Ramsey has a terrific touch in the box. What is it with us having little Cruyff turns in the box against Belgium? I don't know, but terrific finish from the 21-year-old. How exciting is it to be a Wales fan at the minute?
Yeah, Brennan Johnson, he is a real star of the future, isn't he, Nia? I think, just looking at the replays of that goal, I think it's an outstretched leg by a Belgium centre-half that plays Brennan Johnson onside. I mean, we can check this on Match of the Day later, but it's almost like a backward stretching leg, a kind of dog leg, which plays Johnson onside.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really marginal, and I think whilst we were waiting and what seemed like an age for the result from the VAR referee, I think the camera was on young Johnson and he mouthed, "I think it was me." So he knew it was close, but that's what good attackers do. They play right on that line, right on the edge. And it's no wonder that he's slotted home 19 goals for Nottingham Forest and registered 9 assists, and I'm sure that'll be the first of many in the Red of Wales as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Helen. He's been so brilliant, hasn't he, for Nottingham Forest, as you said in commentary, winning promotion to the Premier League, qualifying for the World Cup, and now tonight getting his first Wales goal. Is he, for you, a lot of people feel he is the one? We talk about who is the next Gareth Bale, and you can't find I know we're going to say that, Nathan. You cannot find another Gareth Bale. But of the next generation, is he the biggest star?
Forward that Wales are looking at right now, I think. I mean, you could include David Brooks in that too, because I think we've seen what he can do, and if he can get back to full fitness, he's going to be up there. But for Brennan Johnson, I think we've seen cameos of him and his quality. I thought he came on and did exceptionally well in the Ukraine game. Wasn't maybe at his best on Wednesday at times, a bit peripheral, but when he comes off the bench at the moment, he's making such a positive impact, and I can only see it getting better for him as he gets older. So it's so exciting for him, for the whole of the Wales squad and these young players that come on and do a fantastic job for the team.
Nathan Blake's going to tell me off for putting too much pressure on Brennan Johnson and trying to make him out to be the next big star. Let's hear from Joe Roden, the Wales centre-half, talking to Shauna David.
Sometimes draws like that feel like a victory. This result has been coming for a while, hasn't it? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I felt obviously the one I was given offside in the first half. Obviously that was a bit of a letdown, but I thought the boys, we give everything again. Brilliant shift, and I thought we deserved to come away with a point. And obviously what happened Wednesday is where we were gutted at the end, but obviously overall tonight we're happy with a point and just delighted to get points on the ball.
The big message after Wednesday was the importance of seeing the game through. How crucial was it that you didn't let it slip tonight? Yeah,
I think Gareth said after the game, sometimes you got to learn the dark arts of football, and at the end of the last game on Wednesday, we had chances to stop the game and kind of kill it and see it out, but we didn't do that. And I thought tonight we deserved the point, and we're delighted to come away with a draw at the end.
One to go, Joe. Rotterdam. How much confidence will you take from this evening?
Yeah, I thought it was very good to finish off, kind of strong at home. It's going to be a very difficult game, we know that, on Tuesday, but we're going to go there and give everything, and hopefully we can come away with something.
Joe Jeffenbach,
thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, Joe talking to Shauna David there for S4C's Scorio, and yeah, they do go to Rotterdam on Tuesday for the final match of this batch of fixtures. And Nia Jones in studio, just how important is it to go there with a point on the board? You don't want to be going into a game like that away to the Netherlands. We know how hard that's going to be with 3 defeats.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know what the schedule has been around this game, and we all agree that the priority was that Ukraine match. But let's be honest, we've worked so hard to be in this division now, up with the top guns. We know it's a difficult fixture card and a difficult situation, but it's the same for all the teams. I know they haven't had that playoff, but all the teams are having to manage their squads and rotate somewhat. But there was a bit of pressure on this match tonight, and I think you saw that reflected in Rob Page's team selection. He needed a result tonight. He recognised that we needed that, and we've said that if anything, we know we've suffered 2 losses in those first 2 games, but what's most important is that we learn from it, and I really saw that in the team that finished the match tonight. The game management was much better. If anything, we were celebrating that the fourth official held up 6 minutes on the clock. Oh, how different is that? You know, we were actually pushing for a winner. So the fact that we've got this depth off the bench now and that mentality towards the end of games, I think is so positive. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be a heck of a tough challenge out in Rotterdam. They're in fine form, the only team in this group so far unbeaten. The Dutch, you know, they smashed Belgium 4-1, absolutely shell-shocked them, and I'm sure they'll probably put a full-strength side out to respect Wales as well. So that will be a really difficult test. But if we're going to be going to World Cups and European Championship finals, we've got to be rocking it with the big boys. And you know, we're here to compete, and we're here to try and challenge to get results. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Nia. Match of the day, Wales, with Nia and the team tonight, 10:20 on BBC One. Wales half an hour away for highlights of this evening's game, and Helen Ward still with us. Do they go then fully loaded on Tuesday night, given that after that the players can then go off on their holidays, hit the beach bars and the sun lounges and have a rest at last? So do you may as well say, in a way, we'll play our strongest team and we'll see if we can get a win out there?
I think it'll be close to it. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, he's taken 1 or 2 off with a fair amount of time to go tonight. You know, the likes of Ben Davies, Gareth Bale, Ramsey obviously hasn't played the full 90. So I think there's scope to go pretty full strength. You know, Connor Roberts has played a lot of football in the last 3 games. So he's won, but then with Norrington Davis picking up another yellow, you're not so sure. So I think it'll be pretty close to full strength, with maybe 1 or 2 coming in that perhaps wouldn't necessarily normally start. But I don't think he can afford to go there under strength, if you like, or full of the inexperienced players. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think he'll try and get his best team out that he can, you know, within reason.
Yeah, we're just seeing replays of both goals and Johnson's knee slide celebration. And before that, the Tielemans goal, Nathan, which he scored on 51 minutes. Really good move by Belgium, but, you know, again, you know, it shows what you're up against at the top level of the Nations League.
Yeah, I've said it. I think, you know, we fall in between that gap of, you know, level 1 and level 2, or A and B, however you want to look at it. And I think, you know, Helen made the point while we were in commentary, you know, these young players, the experience they're getting, playing against top-level opposition, will only stand them in good stead for the future. And you made the point about Brennan Johnson. Is he the next Gareth Bale? I mean, there's a long way to go, right? And that's huge
Didn't
pressure.
mean that, literally.
Yeah, I know you meant. But I'm like one of them. I always let the man, you know, develop into his own name, right? Because as soon as you start to link him with such a great player, then people start to expect, and all of a sudden, you know, that pressure becomes, you know, huge on the players, big enough as it is. So for me, what they've achieved over this last 3 games, you know, they've not. You look at the Holland game, the Belgian game, the Poland game. They've not been overrun in any of them, and in between that, you know, the Ukrainian game was the game that we were all focused on. So great experience for these young lads coming through, and you just think to yourself, in the next 2 or 3 years, hopefully there's going to be another crop of youngsters underneath coming to support these, who will then be the experienced boys, because the average age, it has to be, I think we said against Poland or Holland, was about 24, and I think, you know, that's just fantastic for the future of Welsh football. But don't rest on your laurels. That's what I would say. You know, Welsh football, Welsh fans, we want to see this continuing decade after decade, you know. So that's the FAW, that's their challenge. Can you continue this ride, the crest of a wave, for another 5-10 years, you know, and keep going, build the grassroots, build the grassroots football in Wales, and just make it that, you know, it's never another 64 years before we're qualifying for a World Cup. Yeah. Or, you know, I'm not sure how many it was. I think it was 50 odd years for a European Championship. So just make sure that never happens again.
Well, we only need 300 million quid to fix grassroots football, according to Noel Mooney at the FAW. So, you know, but it will help. It will help. That's what he says. Anyway, Helen, this could be a very special year, couldn't it? If we can get a World Cup double. Obviously, the men have qualified. You want to qualify with the women's team. And obviously, 2 key games left to come in September. Greece away, Slovenia at home here at Cardiff City Stadium. And you've got an important friendly coming up in a couple of weeks against New Zealand.
Yeah, we're heading over to Spain for a nice warm weather 7 days and a game against New Zealand. But as you said, it's an important game. It's time for Gemma to prepare us for the 2 big games in September that yeah, they're huge because we've never been in the position where we've got to a playoffs ourselves. So if we get 6 points out of that, then we're in the playoffs and we're in with a shout of getting ourselves to a World Cup. So it's an important time for the team, and you know, watching performances like this from the boys and seeing them qualify for major tournaments, it can only inspire us. And you know, the whole together stronger thing, we want to be part of that, and we want to be going to a World Cup ourselves and following off the back of this. And yeah, if you're around on the 6th of September, get yourselves down here to the Cardiff City Stadium, because we know what the Red Wall can do for a team, and we need them behind us ourselves.
Absolutely, really looking forward to that one as well. Let's hear from Brennan Johnson before we go with Katrin Heleth.
Congratulations on that draw, a hard-fought draw as well. How's that changing room?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's good with the point. I mean, we played well, it was a hard game. They're a really good team, as we all know. We had to battle hard, and I think probably got what we deserved in the end.
And what about that first international goal? You had to wait for it, you couldn't celebrate straight away.
Yeah, I mean, that was horrible, waiting for that celebration. I mean, I haven't had to experience it before, but just waiting like that is so tense. But when I seen it point to the goal kick, then, and it was unbelievable.
And what does it say about you as a side now, that you fight till the bitter end? It was similar, wasn't it, that you got that late goal earlier in the week?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're known for. We're a hard-working team, but at the same time we have such good quality in these attacking areas, and we know we might have to lose a bit of possession during, but as soon as we get the ball, we want to threat every team.
And you've got one game left of this block now. Hopes going over there to Amsterdam?
Yeah, we know it's going to be a tough game. We played them, obviously, in the last game, and it was tough, but going in with a bit of confidence with that point, I think we'll just give the best account of ourselves as we can.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Brennan Johnson. He will remember this evening after equalising against Belgium, won't he, for Wales. 1-1 was how it finished here on BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sport Extra. Just a quick tweet here I've seen from Jonathan. If the Swansea City owners had any ambition and forward thinking, then make a bid to try to sign Bale for DC United. Nathan Blake was talking about him going to America maybe and try and loan him then to Swansea. Whether Bale would want that is another matter, although if you don't ask, you don't get. Although I think he will sign for Cardiff. Roma might also be a good shout. Interesting. Jose Mourinho, a reunion with him maybe. Who knows? We shall see. That speculation about Gareth Bale's future will continue. And there's one more Nations League game to come on Tuesday night away to the Netherlands. And we will be with them for that one. Full commentary from 7 o'clock on Tuesday evening. The last game of this busy schedule before they head off on holiday. These Wales players, after such a busy time, they deserve that rest, don't they, Helen Ward? I would say
they do. Yeah, it's been a long season, and it's, you know, the next one's coming around very quickly because of that World Cup. But you know, they couldn't be in a better place, and I think the way that this couple of weeks has gone with the win against Ukraine, I think they're happy to be here. So yeah, take it all in, enjoy the last game, and then have a quick holiday before getting right back to it.
Yeah, it just stops that mental thought of exhaustion, right? You know, that winner, that elation, last couple of minutes, we had it against Holland, you know, got a bit of a kick in the teeth, but tonight we've done it, and like Helen said, from 80, I think it was 85, 86 minutes in, long at the hold on, but weren't really holding on, we're pushing, continued to push. So, you know, we said in commentary, it'd be great if Wales could start to, you know, build towards coming back if they're down in games, because that's what's going to happen in competitions like the World Cup, like the Euros. And you know, they've got it in abundance. They've got courage and determination in abundance, and tonight again they've shown just what a quality team they are. And I emphasize team, because you know, you look at the opposition last 2 games, the names, you put them out on paper and you think we'd have no chance, but somehow we managed to you know go blow for blow with these teams, and it's just been a fantastic run of games.
Nathan, Helen, thank you both very much indeed. We'll see you very soon. So joy for Johnson then, as Brennan bags his first Wales goal to give Wales a precious draw with Belgium. Another thrilling night at the Cardiff City Stadium. Thank you for being with us. Join us from 7 on Tuesday for the Netherlands versus Wales. It's time now though, here on BBC Radio Wales, to join Adam Walton.